is a UTV 44 sports production. Friday night rivals. This is the UA Early College UTV 44 Game of the Week. Presented by the Mobile and Baldwin County Sheriff's Offices and the Drug Education Council.
Maybe the best seats in the house, unless you're wanting to watch a high school football game here tonight on the Bay. It's Bayside Academy, our host here tonight, a 3A matchup. The Bayside Admirals 5-2, 4-1 in the region, taking on T.R. Miller, the winningest program in the history of high school football in Alabama, with the same identical record. Good evening, I'm Jim Cox. My partners Dan Brennan and Vic Lockett here tonight. Dan, I know we're so excited about the entire experience our viewers are going to get here at Bayside tonight.
Yeah, I don't think we've ever broadcast from a site quite like this. You know, we're nestled in between a beautiful neighborhood and Mobile Bay, where the school is. It's really a remarkable setting.
Go down to 3A tonight. Going to see some more players that are going to be on the field a lot, and really some of the players that will make big impacts are going to be on both sides of the ball. Including
Bo Ezel. Now, on the offensive side for Bayside Academy, they run the wing tees, so they run a lot of misdirection. They need those linemen to be quick and move quickly, and he does. As a matter of fact, he's an offensive lineman that moves so quickly that when they don't have the ball on defense, he plays linebacker with his hand out of the ground. So Bo Ezel, really a prototypical sort of player we're going to see tonight, contributing heavily on both sides of the football.
I think if you look at T.R. Miller, Vic, kind of the same situation, somebody who can play both sides of the football, but this guy is a little different than Bo Ezel. This is the one true playmaker I think they have that can break this game open for T.R. Miller.
Yeah, JoJo Booker, he's a wide receiver, free safety. They tell me he's the alpha male, plays with a lot of emotion, committed to South. Well, he's got an offer from University of South Alabama. He's going to play baseball, I think. So he's a two-sport guy as well as a two-way player. So look for him to have impacts on the offense, look for impact on the defense, making plays all over the place.
Going to be an exciting matchup here tonight. Home field advantage probably on the line in the playoffs. Whoever wins this will probably finish number 2 in the region. Stick around. Kickoff comes up right after this. We're at Bayside tonight. It's Bayside and T.R. Miller here on UTV 44. T.R. Miller making their way on the field, as are the Bayside Admirals, as we get ready for our UA Early College Game of the Week here on UTV 44. Matthew Morgan ready to kick off for T.R. Miller. 5-2, 4-1 in the region. They'll kick to Bayside, and a low-line drive goes out of bounds, and the Bayside offense will have good field position to open this one up here tonight. Bayside also comes in with the same record, 5-2, 4-1 in the region. Both these teams' only region loss coming at the hands of Mobile Christian.
Special teams have an effect early.
And
kick out of bounds on the kicking team. They've chose to go 5 yards of re-kick.
Phil Lazenby says, yeah, going to make you re-kick it in, and they'll give us a chance to go out for our first sideline report with Tara Reeves. Tara.
Thanks so much, Jim. You know, tonight's game will sort of help secure that second place spot in Region 1 play behind the front-running Mobile Christian. The last 4 times these two teams have matched up, T.R. Miller has won, but tonight they're taking the field under new head coach Andrew Thomas. Now, Thomas replaces Jamie Riggs, who is one of the winningest coaches in the state. And while with the Tigers, Riggs joined the 300-win club, and he led his team to 4 state titles. But Thomas has an impressive resume as well. While with Trenton High School in Florida, his team went 60-5 and won 2 state championships. While leaving Trenton was a tough decision for Thomas, he said the opportunity to coach at T.R. Miller is a once-in-a-lifetime deal.
Yeah, and he said he's a small-town kind of rural guy, likes that, and he's coming over here in big shoes to fill, and he quickly said, hey, I'm no Jamie Riggs. I'm not trying to replace the legend. You don't do that. I'm just going to be my own guy and get the Tigers going the way he wants them to here.
And being his own guy is kind of an old-school guy, too, right?
Yep.
He just really coaches toughness and discipline.
Reed Norton, the give and a big hole on the near side, and this is Seth Shirley, his first carry tonight, 612 yards on the ground in his last 5 games. Shirley, a junior, 175 pounds. And he's one of the guys who's really made this offense go for Bayside as of late.
Yeah, the waves kind of parted there, but my man JoJo Booker right there to meet him as he gets that 8-yard gain.
JoJo, the last line of defense back there, and he put a smack.
He did. Helmet right in his chest.
There's Phil Lazenby, 10th year here at Bayside. They had never gone to the playoffs until he came here and took them there. Of course, that magical run last year. This time, the inside give, Connor Sermon, and he's going to fall forward, maybe back to line of scrimmage. Sermon was the quarterback that took this team to the state championship game last year, but a shoulder injury forced him to have surgery on the shoulder and can't throw the football yet, so he had to move. He's going to go that middle fullback position. Slade McClendon, Bowie Zell, who Dan talked about, Moeller, Gray, and Langham up front. And you got Bryant on the outside, and then the tight end, Tucker Mills here, Sermon, along with Cook and Shirley. And you also see Reed Norton pull the ball down a little bit as well. Last week he was 6 for 7 for 115 yards in the win over Cottage Hill. And Bayside moves into T.R. Miller territory with a first down here, and this is kind of what Coach Andrew Thomas was telling us, Dan, 4 yards, 2-yard first down for Bayside. Just what he was telling us on the field, that this is.
Thing that, look at the huddle. This is the opposite of a hurry.
Whitworth and Aaron Nicholson, they all go both ways. Johnson, also Nicholson, the cousin of Aaron, and the safety, JoJo Booker, that was talked about by Vic in the open. And then Bayside going to lose a couple here as nowhere to go on that one for Seth Shirley.
I think Bayside does some of this, something similarly offensively, and that way this defense is going to be familiar with some of the blocking schemes that Bayside Academy deploys.
2nd and 13 here for the Admirals. 3-1 at home this season. And now Reed Norton fires it off, and it's dropped there. Nate Cook, the sophomore, they've got big hopes for him in the next few years. He plays on that wing back. They'll put him in motion a lot and drops that one. It'll bring up 3rd and 13 here.
Cook not happy with himself. He's just got to shake that off, Vic Lockett, right?
Yeah, he was trying to head upfield before he collect the football, but that's going to happen in the beginning of the game with some young guys. So I'm sure he'll correct himself, shake it off, and play football.
Now 3rd and very long. John Bryant splits out to the top of the screen. Reed Norton with a play clock at 5, and Cook in motion. No roll out to his left. Pressure coming. Johnson after him fires it off, and it's complete. But Connor Sermon had no chance at that one back at the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, Terrence Johnson had a good job, contained him, and cleaned up by number 32, Michael Campbell.
Bayside with a first down. Then they go backwards on the first down play. Bayside, as we said, 5-2. They lost their opening game of the year to St. James 4A school, who's now 7-1, coached by our old friend Jimmy Perry, formerly of the St. Paul Saints.
I knew he was up there in Montgomery so he could be close to the grandkids.
Benjamin James on the punt. It's a good job to grab the snap and just get that one away. That could have been disastrous.
Yeah, something you don't expect out of Bayside from everything we've heard and read. They just don't make mistakes. They don't hurt themselves generally. Watch this.
Great job to pull it down there by Connor Sermon.
No doubt.
And T.R. Miller will have it here at the 30-yard line. Papa Murphy's Taking Baked Pizza wants to give you a chance to talk to us tonight. Send us your questions to HeyGuys@UTV44. Send us a text if you got the number up here in the booth. We'd love to talk to him. And now we'll see the T.R. Miller offense led by Michael Campbell, a big running back who's really starting to find his way. 6'2", about 225 pounds. And there he is. 253 yards last week in the win over Flomanton on homecoming. And Andrew Thomas had to put him in after Decarius McMillan got hurt. And Campbell will start at linebacker as well.
And already made some impact.
Yeah.
Pretty nifty backup, huh?
538 yards in the last 3 games, but he'll get pulled down by a Jersey there. Mac Douglas able to get a hold, and the sophomore outside linebacker slows him down. And a 3rd down coming up. T.R. Miller buried Nicholson up front. Nicholson big, the biggest lineman they have there. Towns in the center. Whitworth will play both ways. Christopher Noble on the right side. Booker that Vic talked about, Campbell in the backfield. Then the twins, Caleb Winton and Joshua Winton, the wide receiver. And now this is Caleb. Whitten, 6'1", 190-pound senior. His twin brother, the wide receiver, 6'1", 185.
Good athletes, good-looking kids, and I love the T.R. Miller uniform look with not a name on the back, only one name, and it's T.R. Miller.
Yeah.
And I like no hesitation there. He knew he was going to run that one way or another. Douglas, we saw him make the play. John Nordcutt, Killian Cahaley there. Prim, Waters, Ezell, and Sermon, the linebackers, in the secondary. Wise, Norton, and Smith, and Cassidy, your other linebacker for the Admirals. Now Whitten fires it over the middle of the field, tipped up in the air and almost intercepted, and then almost caught as Sermon was there, and also the tight end Tyrese Nicholson. And Whitten put some heat on that one, throwing it over the middle of the field, trying to get to the 6'2", 180-pound senior.
Yeah, just a little bit behind him, or otherwise he might have made a play in that crowd, but it was just too far behind him to reach back and tap it to himself.
T.R. Miller has 5 starters going both ways. A little more than Coach Thomas wants at this point of the season, but he said he's had some injuries. He said sometimes you don't mind your athletes. He said it's just the big linemen you really hope don't have to go, like you talked about on the pregame show, right, Big Lockett?
Oh, yeah. You don't want the big guys going 2 ways too often.
Campbell getting chased by Cahaley. And now he's going to be hit at the 45. We'll bring up 3rd down here. T.R. Miller.
You know, if it's all the same and I'm Bayside Academy, I'd rather have that guy trying to get to the edge than planting a foot and turning it up.
Well, it looks like he got to the edge a little bit and turned it up, get some positive yards.
3rd and 5 here for the Tigers. Their first possession, the quick-moving first quarter here at Bayside. Play action, looking downfield, and Caleb Winton fires that one up, and it's broken up by Andrew Smith, the sophomore and quarterback for Bayside, and they'll bring up 4th down here for T.R. Miller.
Yeah, just for a second, I thought Joshua was going to pull that one down, but a great play by that defensive back there to disrupt it.
Think these brothers have done this one a time or two in the backyard
That's what
growing
I
up
was
as
wondering.
kids?
Can you imagine how many times that you've documented how many times they've thrown the ball to each other in all those years? Pretty amazing.
Hayden Atkinson.
Well, they're both good-looking players, too.
Absolutely. 6'6" punter, and now Bayside may have had to take a timeout.
Yeah, they didn't like their personnel.
Yeah, have too many men on the field, and so that would have given T.R. Miller a first down. We got some folks already texted in. I know a lot of people over here on the Eastern Shore excited about this one. Mark Wright from Bayside watching the game here tonight. Just could probably almost see his house from here, sitting in his living room. So Mark and Leslie watching the game and cheering on the Admirals tonight.
Hey, you look at the TV and let the window up to get the crowd cheer.
You know, it's funny. You could say that last night I'm watching the Spanish Fort Saraland game on ESPN2. And I'm sitting in my living room and I can hear the fireworks going off in the living room that are going off at the stadium there. So good win for Spanish Fort last night. So we got Destin Williams down at the beach watching this one tonight, otherwise known as Chili.
Chilling with us.
Chili. He's a captain fishing boat down in Orange Beach, the Skin Deep.
I know. I'd like to say hello to Miss Millie Fritz. I'm sure she's tuning in.
She does not miss a game, Vic Lockett.
She does not miss a game. She loves you guys as well. She wants me to make sure you're aware of it.
So also, how about you'll like this one, Vic Lockett? So Doug Harrell, a dentist down in Fairhope, went to Bayside. He's texting me. He's at the Fairhope game tonight, but he's going to be watching this one right before Bama Rocky Top tomorrow. But he said, hey, I'm not watching the game right now, but I'm going to be watching it tomorrow.
Awesome.
So hello to Doug Harrell watching this game down in Fairhope tonight.
Dr. Harrell.
Actually watching it tomorrow, I guess. So the punt from Atkinson on. Reed Norton back. Good high punt by Atkinson, and Norton will fair catch this one all the way back to the 16-yard line. And that should get us our first break here.
That is a world-class punt there.
Both teams, good defense to open this one up. We'll take a timeout about halfway through the opening quarter. here on the Bay. The Admirals and Tigers scoreless on the UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. T.R. Miller travels well.
They did.
Brought a nice crowd down here to Bayside, and their band cheering on their team.
And the Blue Knights that aren't there are watching right now, I'm sure.
Yep, a lot of DVRs set of folks that are here tonight.
They're humming right now. And if you're not called Brute Knights, I apologize.
And maybe it's a trend. If they're not, that Dan has now started. Cook in motion. Give inside. Not much going there on first down for the Admirals. Second down coming up is you wonder how this team would look if Sermon was able to be the quarterback that he was last year, leading them to the state championship game. You see 6'2", 220 pounds. And so Reed Norton comes in and really has filled in admirably.
I like that. That works.
No gain on first down. Norton looks, fires it out, gets that one complete in stride on the far side, and a first down out across the 40 and more. Look at the speed on the outside. Touchdown, Admirals.
I tell you what, I don't know if he read the blitz, but it was a corner blitz from that side, and he throws it right where the corner left, and it was up to our safety Booker there to get him. He did not get him, and he just ended up splitting the safeties and hitting his head on the goalpost.
Henry Wise starts at cornerback, comes over, lines up at wide receiver there, and takes the 82-yard touchdown reception.
I'm going to give him credit and say he read the blitz. It wasn't the play call.
It was a great throw, either way.
Yeah, I mean, it was the perfect play for what the defense offered up.
Yeah.
And Wise can run. We could see that now.
Mac Douglas for the PAT, and Bayside with a 7-0 lead on the big play. Reed Norton able to connect to that young man, Henry Wise, and the Admirals on top, 7-0. Bayside cheerleaders here. Breast Cancer Awareness Month in October, and we have the big cheer early here on the 82-yard touchdown pass from Reed Norton to Harry Wise, and Bayside on top by a score of 7-0. About people watching the game, got a friend of mine, Chris Haley, sitting at a P.F. Chang's in Winston-Salem, North Carolina. His son visiting Wake Forest tomorrow.
Wow.
Streaming the game on his phone. So Patrick, Sam, and Chris Haley all watching the game up in North Carolina tonight.
Can't wait till we get our P.F. chains.
Back down at the 5 and a lot of speed up the near side. Matthew Morgan. Correct that. That's going to be Henry Davison. For the game, Spanish Fort with a big win at home last night. Brian and Theodore 7A matchup. Baker and McGill, Jackson and Davidson tonight. That'll be an interesting one. Murphy down in Fairhope, Mary G and Foley in 7A. BC Rain and Baldwin County, another big one. Region matchup. Daphne and Blunt tonight in 6A, right over at Jubilee Stadium, not far from here. LaFleur and Robinson, Robertsdale, Viger and St. Paul's on Old Shell Road tonight for the Region Championship. UMS right at Thomasville. A busy week 9 here in the viewing area. JoJo Booker with his first touch offensively tonight, and he'll get a hard-earned 2 before the defense swarms over there to make the stop for the Admirals. There's Bowie Zell over there helping on the tackle of the games tonight. Excel in Flemington, Chickasaw and Leroy. Also JF Shields and Fruitdale and Sweetwater and Milry tonight. 2nd and 8. Right back to Campbell, and he goes up the middle, and Campbell to the 45, and 3rd and about 3 coming up for the Admirals. Again, Bowie Zell right there in the middle of it. Also Gavin Prim coming over to help make the stop. Caleb Winton, senior quarterback. for T.R. Miller. Their 2 losses this year, week 1 to Opp, 30-20. They turned it over 6 times in that game, 5 in the first half, and almost rallied back to win it.
That's strong to come back after those many turnovers.
Yeah, then the loss to Mobile Christian, 27-19, and we'll talk more about that momentarily. Is now on the keeper. Winton able to get it, tries to pitch it, the ball comes loose. You could see how they love to set that up and a little option to the outside.
Almost was successful with it. See where they're going to mark the ball.
Connor Sermon.
Looks like he got enough for the first down even before he pitched it.
You could see Connor Sermon favoring the shoulder there as he was getting up. Well executed
he's
play.
right before it. So they may not give him the progress of the ball, but looks like they're going to kick the sticks with it.
Yeah, can't fumble it forward, but
yeah.
It's an interesting way that T.R. Miller gets their plays optically to to quarterback. You can't miss it. We've got to get a look at that.
Maybe a double pass here. Instead, nope, they just come holding on to it.
Nice job finishing the run there by 27.
Yeah, Josh Jolly comes over from the defensive side of the football. One of those kids is going to get some snaps on both sides.
As do many of them.
Gets 7 yards.
And Coach Thomas told me he got a few of those big uglies that are going to have to do it as well.
Winton rolls out, looking, dumps it off to the big tight end, Atkinson. He's got a lot of room, and Atkinson's got a first down to the 20-yard line.
He just needed that block, and his receiver let that one go and went and got another one.
A go-build Alabama first down for the 6'6" Hayden Atkinson. Starts at defensive end as well. What a nice target to have there.
Well, they had one of the greatest coaches in the state of Alabama at the school for 25 years, and you can see right away they did not replace him with a dum-dum. This guy had great success in the state of Florida, and he knows what he's doing.
Campbell right up the middle. And he'll bang it for 5. Before he's wrapped up by Bo Ezel. There's where we're at. Mobile Christian, that game that they beat this T.R. Miller team. They only had 200 yards in offense, but 3 touchdowns basically given up on special teams. A 90-yard punt return, a bad snap, and then a fumble, so that cost them that game. Bayside right there, and T.R. Miller. So you can see the winner of this game will probably end up at that number 2 spot and be home to open things up in the playoffs. Clark County, then you got Cottage Hill, Hillcrest, Evergreen, Flomaton, and Excel rounding things out. Out to the near side. Able to fire that one off and down inside the 10, down to the 8-yard line. It'll be
nice
another
little move there. Free himself up.
First down.
And 3 defenders right there in his face. Just makes one move and up the field.
Yeah, gave him a good 5-7 more yards.
Henry Davidson, also starter at cornerback, comes in. You know, T.R. Miller's roster much bigger, larger in terms of numbers than Bayside has on there, but you already see so many kids coming in both ways, and now they'll bring Terrence Hall in, a big blocking back.
Yeah, Coach said they're going to dress about 50.
Rolling out, looking. Wint looks to the back of the end zone, tipped up in the air, and incomplete. Wow, that was Connor Sermon able to get a hand on it as he went up in 6'2" frame to get it, and he had to go up high.
Yeah, he had Campbell just standing in his face wide open, but he was short of the goal line. I guess he just got a little bit greedy and said, I want the touchdown.
Yeah, he got too greedy because there was a lot of Campbell was there, and then a lot of traffic and garbage here in the end zone. Watch right there. That's
Yeah, he had the fullback, Terrence Hall.
I thought that was Campbell, but it's Hall.
Yeah, almost had the catch. 2nd and goal. Inside, now it's kept, and Winton spins. And now no signal. Ooh, I thought he got in.
I did too. He's just shy, I think.
Yeah, Caleb Winton looking at the official like, really? Took that big lick because I thought I was going to make it in.
And if you do one Winton wrong, you got them both mad at you.
So 3rd and goal from inside the 1. How about this field here at Bayside?
Beautiful.
I mean, it just looks...
It's supposed to be drinking some of the fluid from the bay all the way over here.
Give to Campbell on the left side. He's able to go in untouched for the touchdown. Overload the left side. T.R. Miller is a PAT away from Matthew Morgan to tie this one up.
Yeah, he's almost untouched there.
Yeah, just about. And again, they come from the I formation often and kind of a power run look, but their blocking schemes actually are more in line with what you see on the Bayside side with the wing T blocking assignments.
Yeah, that's what the coach was telling me.
Freshman Matthew Morgan on for the PAT here. And he's got it. And we're tied inside 2 minutes to go in the first. T.R. Miller and Bayside all even at 7 here on the UTV 44 Game of the Week. T.R. Miller answers back after the long touchdown strike from Bayside, and it's 7-7. Kick to the near side. Good job to stay in. Andrew Smith. And Smith out to about the 42-yard line. It's good field position here for Bayside to open this drive up. Smith, starting cornerback, just one of the sophomores. This is a young Bayside team out there.
Everybody we talked to that was, loosely associated with the program in one way or the other on the sideline before the game and on the field were saying, yeah, we don't have a big coaching staff at all.
4 coaches.
Man, they're good, and it all starts with Lazenby.
Look at that 10-play drive there by T.R. Miller. March it down the field. Give this one to Nate Cook, and Cook turns the corner at midfield, and a good ankle grab there to bring him down by Tyrese Nicholson. Otherwise, Cook may have had another big explosive play for the Admiral offense.
Yeah, he barely got him, just like you said, tapped his ankle just to stop him, but he still did well enough to kick the sticks and get a first down.
And Big Lockett, there's not a lot of ankle to grab there, is there?
No, he's got some skinny ankles, huh?
You see the misdirection principles of this Bayside Academy offense, and that's usually what you see out of teams that don't feel like they can just line up and knock you back, and that's what the academies use it and things like that.
Yep, the smaller schools.
Approaching a minute to go here in the opening quarter. Trying to come this side is Shirley and nowhere to go.
Nice defense there. Just everybody staying home in their positions.
Jolly and Davidson both over there too.
Gotta stay in your lanes. So no signaling the plays in for Bayside. They tell a player and send it in. Is that what you guys were pointing out earlier?
Well, yeah, on the other side.
Looks like a Christmas decoration over there.
Yeah, I mean, it looks like the interstate is closed sign.
It's a green and red LED sign.
We'll get a look at that later.
Norton, little play fake all kinds of time. Dumps it off to the near side and breaking a tackle. Pushed out of bounds. Seth Shirley. He's going to be very close. He's going to get the first down.
Yeah, I heard the coaches urging
get upfield.
Yeah, that's what you do. You need to do that. I get tired of seeing receivers make 10 moves in one spot. Get upfield and get positive yardage.
That's why we got that microphone, that parabolic microphone to hear that down on the sidelines. Big Walker.
Yeah, you get a feel for the game sitting at home on your couch.
Yeah, the official on the near side signaled first down right in front of the Bayside bench, and now he's going to rescind that.
I think 31 inches.
So third and very short for the Admirals. 18 seconds left and powering ahead.
Nice job by that offense. Getting up there, getting settled. Everybody's still. You would think it's on first down. Send that guy in motion, see if they're going to jump. Then they go on first down.
Norton sticking his nose right up in there. Go get Alabama first down.
He got a little help from the guy we looked at in pregame, the linebacker / left guard, Bo Ezel. He's a tough customer up front. He helped provide the room for the first down.
You got to have that push when you're going to try to sneak it. And he didn't just sneak it up under the center. He just looked for the soft spot and dove through there.
Through one. These two teams the same record on the season. It's the same through one. 7-7 Bayside and T.R. Miller here in our UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. Brian Anderson, our statistician. Tara will be going to her momentarily, but down Jared Kihos in the truck, leaving our entire crew here tonight, Bayside. welcoming on our first visit here in the inside give to about the 31-yard line, as that's Landon Johnson, his first carry of the night.
You know, Bayside's had such good field position tonight. Their playbook has not been restricted in any way by feeling like can't take a chance.
Yeah,
right. And they do a pretty good job on first down. The one time that they had to punt it away, it was a first down play at midfield that lost a few yards, and that kind of threw them out of whack.
Got them off schedule.
Looking pressure coming all the way back to the 45-yard line, and Reed Norton will be dropped. Big penetration from Trentez Johnson. And Reed Norton had no chance on that one.
Yes, first and only read was somebody here to the wide out, and I guess the wide out wasn't looking for it, or he had good coverage and he ended up just eating it. Probably was a good play other than causing a turnover, throwing it out there and making a bad read and the defender intercepting.
Reed was trying to hold Trentez off with a face mask pushing him back there, and that was gaining nothing for Reed on the 220-pound defensive end. Johnson coming in for T.R. Miller, and now 3rd and 21 for Bayside. Norton looking to set up a screen over the middle of the field. He's able to get that one off to the sophomore tight end, Tucker Miltier. And he's up to the 34-yard line, but still going to bring up 4th at about 13 here.
Yeah, the umpire was in great shape to intercept that, but he's not on the T.R. Miller team there. Take a look at it. Middle screen. Ref, get out of the way so we can play some football. And he catches it, but not enough for the first down.
Tyrese Nicholson, the linebacker, good job staying home there and making the open field tackle on the lanky Tucker Miltier.
Jim, I love it when you compliment the defensive guys.
And 4th, and we'll call it a long 11 here, and Bayside will go for it. More pressure coming. Norton fires it up the near sideline and incomplete as he got hit from the backside by Michael Campbell, another one of those two-way players for T.R. Miller. And Norton just did a good job to get that one away to maybe try to give a chance to the receiver to make a play downfield.
The point is he had him. I mean, they had T.R. Miller out-schemed.
Yeah, had sense.
On the release, it was kind of a wheel route by Shirley out of the backfield, and nobody followed him.
Yeah, but I'm telling you what, Campbell's having an impact defensively and offensively. Had Campbell not been harassing him, it would have been a completion.
Yep. Would have been an illegal man downfield against Bayside. That's declined, so T.R. Miller
Saban rule.
will get the ball back.
On the University of Alabama, UTV 44 game of the week.
We know where he is. How about that one? I am really surprised. I hear popular sentiment, it seems, to pick Tennessee tomorrow. I'm thinking.
Yeah, have people watch both teams play this year?
I don't see how that is going to happen. But
every now and then a squirrel gets a nut. Well, and it's time, and this is the most talented Tennessee team we're going to face.
See, Vic can say we because he played there. Down near side, and JoJo Booker with the catch and the touchdown. There is a flag, but I would guess that's going against Bayside.
I don't know. He kind of got him a little stiff arm out there, Booker did. He used his height and wingspan there to his advantage. So I want to see which way they go on this.
It's kind of crazy to take this one back. Let's see what they're going to do, because I think they were both kind of fighting each other.
Yeah.
Booker just happens to be the bigger, stronger guy.
There you go. And those are the ones you want on your team, Dan.
Yeah. Touchdown. T.R. Miller, so a 65-yard strike. Let's listen.
Pass interference on the defense. The penalty is declined. Touchdown.
We were talking with Andrew Thomas, the head coach for the game, and he said JoJo Booker, he said he's the playmaker. He's the one who can really kind of break it open for us, and we see it right there with a 65-yard touchdoon.
How you like him?
Yeah, I tell you, hey, when you got that height advantage and you play with heart like I hear he does, he's going to be an impact in a football game.
Morgan with the PAT, and it's good, and it's 14-7. Booker had 10 catches for 173 yards against Mobile Christian. All right, 14-7. T.R. Miller has the lead over Bayside. Vic was just talking about this being the UA early college game of the week.
I like seeing University of Alabama.
And Tara has more about that. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. I'm here with Deja Robinson, the recruiting specialist for the UA Early College program. And Deja, for those who don't know, what is UA Early College?
Yes, UA Early College is an opportunity for high school sophomores, juniors, and seniors to earn college credit from the University of Alabama while they're still in high school.
And all students must begin with a required course. Can you tell me more about that?
Definitely. It's called UAEC 200, the college readiness course. So it's basically about freshman study skills, learning to navigate an online class, talking to your professor, discussion posts, things like that.
And you guys have a deadline approaching. When is that?
It is on Monday, October the 31st. So they've got a couple of weeks to get all of their information into us.
And so for everyone who's extremely interested, how do students apply?
Definitely. They can go to our website, uaearlycollege.ua.edu, and they'll find everything there.
All right. Thank you so much, Deja. Back up to you, Jim.
All right. Thanks, Tara. Thanks, Deja. Thanks to UA Early College being a big part of high school football here on UTV 44. And
yeah, Deja looks like she's in elementary school, and Tara looks very tall, and she's not.
this one bounds down middle of the field, and Wise will pick it up and tries to make a move to the outside and makes a cut back to the 33-yard line. So T.R. Miller now with 2 touchdowns to take the lead, 14-7. We got a fan down in Orange Beach, Rachel Ivy, and her mom watching the game. Rachel went to T.R. Miller, and she's down in Orange Beach watching the game. Her husband watching, Patrick watching as well tonight.
I just can't imagine how many of our friends in Bruton are watching this game this evening. This is such a proud program with an amazing history and a very amazing recent history, too.
Norton has time, looks, now comes back to the middle of the field and incomplete as he threw it through the hands of John Bryant. 2nd and 10 coming up here. Hey, New Horizons Credit Union trivia question. Over the last 25 years, what Alabama high school football team has the best winning percentage?
Did we lead that horse right to water?
25.
I would imagine
25 years.
One of the folks that's here. Is that one too easy, Dan?
Well,
can't be, can it?
School up in Birmingham's done a pretty good run lately, too. To give to Shirley. Shirley up to the 35-yard line. You know whose uncle is Seth Shirley, Big Lockett?
Right, isn't it the judge?
Henry Hardy.
Oh, okay.
Our friend Henry Hardy.
Yeah, he's here tonight. Having a good time with my old coach, catching up real quick until Jim rudely interrupted it and said he needs me on set.
Yeah. We told
Henry got his wife, Miss Barbie's here.
We told Henry you were delaying the game and he's going to make you run some gassers at halftime.
Yeah, I'm too fat and old, James.
3rd and 8. Bayside needs a first down here. Fires weight, finds the little soft spot out near midfield, and the tight end Tucker Mills here has his 2nd catch of the night. And I like the ball by Reed Norton there.
That was a nice delivery, just what the doctor ordered. You were just saying they needed a first down, and watch this one delivered right here. Right on target.
What was the difference in that play as opposed to some of the others? No pressure. Yeah, he was able to step into the throw.
And 15 more coming, roughing the passer.
Well,
at the end of that
there's
play.
enough pressure at the end, I guess.
I was about to say, well, there was the pressure delayed this time a bit, though.
Boy, very few. We had a kickoff when T.R. Miller kicked it out of bounds. We had a penalty flag. We had one on Bayside
Personal
there.
foul on the defense. 15-yard penalty. First down.
Wow.
And then just the 3rd flag we've seen in this game, but Bayside will take the first down and 15 tacked on the end of it.
I missed the hit. I completely missed it, so not a whole lot of protest from the T.R. Miller side.
I'll tell you why you missed it. You was watching that pretty fast go up the field.
I was. I was.
1st and 10 all the way up to the 38. Cook in motion, and they go right up the middle. And good job by Connor Sermon, and a great job on that left side. McClendon and Ezel opening things up. Down to the 31-yard line.
Jim was mentioning Sermon was the quarterback last year. It's a shoulder injury that got tended to too late for him to be able to throw the ball here in 16. And so he's too good a player. They got to have him on the field, and they do. But the quarterback that led them to the state championship game is not at quarterback this year.
You can see the size that he has. And now here's Cook turning the corner, and Cook gets slammed down. Is coming up to make the stop on that one for T.R. Miller is their leading tackler, Ty Lett.
Yeah, they run that jet sweep, and he comes right up there and sticks his face in the receiver's chest and slings him down. minimal gain.
64 tackles coming into tonight's game for Lett.
Got a chance to make 100 next few games. That was always my goal, to get 100 tackles in a year.
3rd and 1 for the Admirals. Sermon can fall forward and have the first down as he was able to drive through Nicholson there. Good drive being strung together here by the Admirals after back-to-back touchdowns by T.R. Miller. Got more Bayside folks watching on their way to New York City. The Hickson family here from Fairhope.
Wow.
Bill and Allison and the kids on their way up to New York for the weekend and watching the game.
Just for the weekend? Man, go that far. I think I'd like a few more days.
Tomorrow's Saturday, so I guess they're going to be there at least through the weekend.
A lot of these
that's nice.
Bayside students are doing some college visits.
Yep, it's the fall break, and now coming around is Shirley trying to get the edge on the right side, and the speedy back is upended inside the 10, but it's 1st and goal, Bayside.
Yeah, ball comes out there. My guy Booker's over there to make the tackle, but it is long down the field, and they're waving him down for the first down. Nice job by him. Look at him get outside here. Good fold block there. Well, he got in the way. Tried to make a move on Booker, but he wasn't by.
Yeah, that was Winton over there now playing 2 ways as well.
I know Booker's got a look at South Alabama for baseball.
Yeah, I heard he's actually committed as a pitcher.
He's a pretty good football player.
This is Cook on the left side down to about the 6, and he's brought down by Nicholson. You know, this was something Andrew Thomas talked about us. He said if Bayside gets in a little roll and they get the play calling kind of heated up, and I think this is what he was talking about, Dan.
Yeah, I think you're right. They get a little momentum, and they can tend to get a defense a little bit on their heels, looking at each other and not exactly sure what they're looking at.
Well, Jim, I thought you was about to say they start to pick up the tempo, but we are really looking at a traditional game where folks are huddling up.
Yep, don't see that a lot.
Don't see that ever.
Friday nights anymore.
As a defensive player, I love it.
Breathe in, breathe out.
Yes.
Bryant split up to the top of the screen. And now they give it off to Shirley, and Shirley had a whole close down quickly there as it looked like he was going to be able to skate through on the right side. And
this time again, it's Booker coming in there, filling it up pretty quick as a lot. Coming up from his safety position.
Aaron Nicholson will fill a hole as well. He's going both ways.
Job interviews back in the old days when I first got out of Georgia. A lot of slammed doors in my face. No thanks. That's what happened right there. It looked like they had something.
Yep. 3rd and goal here from the 3 for the Admirals. There's Coach Andrew Thomas, came over from Florida. Tara mentioned it. 60-5, back-to-back state 1A championships, and a timeout taken as the play clock was about to expire, and Reed Norton wanted to get that timeout in and not get backed up here.
So we only had, I don't know, 5-10 minutes with Coach Thomas, but I think the one thing that I took away from that small gathering of minds was that Coach Andrew Thomas is definitely his own man.
Yep.
He comes into a situation where a legendary coach had been there for years and years and years, but he didn't come in to apologize, and he didn't come in sneaking into town. Once he took over, you can see that he's got a plan, and that plan is to be disciplined and hard-nosed and get these players in the right position. They've had some injuries. That happens in football, right? Mm-hmm. At the same time, this guy just has, I get the sense that he's somebody that doesn't feel like he's ever going to have to apologize or go backwards on anything. He's going to play with what he has as hard as he can.
And the coaches told me offense is his baby.
Mm-hmm. And he knows coming in, he said, cupboard's not bare here. They know how to do it.
Yeah.
So want to thank our friends making high school football possible here on our UA Early College Game of the Week. UA, University of Alabama Early College here on UTV 44. Big
That's
part of our high school game. Thank you, Big Glock. See, I can, it's the other school you can't say. It doesn't bother me to say that at all.
He's never said it.
Yeah. 3rd and goal here from the Admirals from the 3.
You know, we've been talking a lot about these two-way players. One question I had for Coach Thomas was, do you start to see the effects of it later in the game? You know, maybe the quality goes down. He says not really, because both teams are in that way, but if you're playing a team that's not got people going both ways, then it shows.
Yep.
Cook in motion. Instead, they give it to Shirley, trying to get on the right side, and he's going to be ridden down at the 2. And decision time, and I think Phil Lazenby's thinking field goal quickly, and And he will.
Certainly this group has a field goal kicker.
Yep, Mac Douglas will come out and try to make it 14-10. Matthew Khalifi will come on to hold.
Yeah, I was talking with Matt's dad before the game. He's excited for his son getting to be a holder and getting out there playing. So Matt, I'll give him a shout out.
When you're this close down and it's at the hash like this, that's a tough angle.
This is Matt Sr.
And Douglas has got it. Douglas, another one of those sophomores for Bayside, cuts into the lead now 14-10.
Got it right.
4 minutes and 18 seconds to go here in the first half. We got a good one of the UA Early College Game of the Week. Bayside cuts into the T.R. Miller lead with a field goal. First trip to Bayside, and we're thoroughly enjoying every moment of being here in the game tonight between T.R. Miller and Bayside. Jim Cox, Dan Britt, and Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kihos, and our entire crew. Here watching this one, 14-10. We've got some other scores to pass along. The Jackson Aggies, 21-10, leading the Davidson Warriors right now. We're jumping up 2 classifications. Thomasville trails UMS 14-12, 7-6. Daphne leads Blunt in that one. St. Paul's quickly on top of Viger, 21-0. Surprises there, and now a little high kick, and good job by Quentin to fall on that one alertly.
Yeah, I think he thought just for a hair of a second whether I should return this thing, but he says, well, let me just secure the ball and get down.
More of our friends bringing high school football here every Friday night on UTV 44. Advanced Collision. Maybe the best fish cooking repair shop on the planet as well. Greer's, 100 years. They're here for good. And the Secretary of State in Alabama, and great penetration as Campbell is met immediately. I think that was Gavin Prim came in to make the stop.
Gavin, that's one of those cases the coaches put you in a position and you just wait for the ball to come to you, and it will.
Michael Campbell.
One of the great things I enjoyed when we played for a great defensive coordinator. Oh, yeah, I see the neon lights over there.
Bayway accident.
That's what it looks like.
Campbell going to be brought down in the backfield by Noah Waters this time for Bayside, and Connor Sermon comes in as well. And Waters, one of the bigger players on that defense, 6'4", about 230 on the outside linebacker, and job there by the senior to make the stop for the Admirals. 3rd and 12.
He's got the size to play at any level.
Quinton looks over to the sideline to get to play from Thomas. 4 of 7, 92 yards. 65 of those coming to JoJo Booker on the touchdown
watch
pass.
Booker here.
Looking to the far side the whole way. Long throw, heaves it up. He's able to get that one complete at the first down. And he's got the first down right at midfield is Joshua Jolly with the reception.
Nice job by the quarterback to deliver that ball a long way. And easy for a receiver to get distracted there and not catch that thing.
They had Booker to the near side. It's a really well-thrown ball.
Yeah, didn't get there fast like Aaron Rodgers would do it, but it got there. That's the key to it.
Right at midfield for the Tigers. Campbell picks up 7.
You have a feeling
Go Build Alabama first down there for T.R. Miller.
Got a feeling that Campbell's the sort of player that could really pay some dividends late in this game.
Yep.
It looks like he's just warming up, doesn't it?
Yeah, you know what?
You got a feeling.
Like a boxer with body blows in the early rounds.
Yep.
The more carries that young man gets, he's probably going to light it up later.
Quickly out to the near side, and that might be a loose ball. Ooh. Boy, Bayside thought that was a lateral. Trying to come back to Jolly.
Well, 54 tipped it, right?
It was deflected.
Yeah, he did a great job otherwise right there.
Yeah.
Noah Waters had his hand on it, and Jolly went after it.
Good job by Waters again. He's making some plays there.
3rd and 3. This game was a 7-0 game last year, won by T.R. Miller. Games have been close in recent years. 6 of the last 8 have been won.
Well, I got a prediction. It's not going to be 7-0 this year.
Inside, Campbell's going to be a little bit first. Looks like he was going to be a little short. Now we'll see the spot.
Danny, you can go to Vegas on that one. This will not be a 7-0 game.
You're getting your predictions and your facts mixed up. Because we know for a fact. Good game, though, right?
Yeah, it is evenly matched so far.
I think the official's going to want to get a measurement on this one. It's going to be very close one way or another. You know, we're talking about all the people watching Bruton down at the beach around here. How about just got a text from the Miller family over in Niceville, Florida, watching the game.
Meet the Millers.
Chris, Christine, and their 4 dogs watching the game tonight on UTV
awesome.
44.
Yeah, well,
strong broadcast signal.
Years ago, we did a Niceville game. We did a game featuring Niceville. If you
did
remember.
you really?
We did.
Years ago.
Yeah, I've passed by that stadium a lot of times over there.
It's Pine Forest and Niceville.
Pine Forest, a storied program over there, right?
Yes. Yes, indeed. And we were talking to some coaches that were involved with that program way back in the 80s when they were among the tops.
Mm-hmm.
Around the time Viger was doing their thing.
Yeah, beating us Shaw Rebels.
You saw the measurement there. Good enough for a Go Build Alabama first down here for T.R. Miller. Winton rolls to his right, fires it and drops, trying to come to the tight end. Tyrese Nicholson, that was another guy that Coach Thomas told us, you know, he really could be a guy to make a big play tonight. They use him and also Atkinson at that tight end spot.
One thing does stand out about that tight end there. Look at those ankles, Jim. They are non-existent.
Had some space to the near side. Starts at linebacker as well.
You know, and on any given play, without any safety help, you've got a very short cornerback, Wise, on JoJo Booker, who's 6'3" on the outside.
And they come back to Booker. And Booker has it tipped up in the air, and he gets upended at the end of the play by Bowie Zell. And Booker might have had some space coming back to the middle of the field, and that one just went off his fingertips, and a good job to keep the concentration to get it as Bowie Zell came over and put the hit on.
Yeah, I thought it was a fumble there, but I guess they're going to rule him down. Yeah, his elbow hit the ground and the ball seeps out. Nice job, Jared, to give me that shot.
3rd and 8. Blitz coming. Pressure far side. They want Booker up and knocked away. How about Henry Wise? You were just talking about that matchup, Dane Brennan, but Wise giving up lots of inches on the far side, and he goes up and he knocks it away from JoJo.
He timed it perfectly, and he got Wise on that play there.
Yeah, Wise has got to be a very good athlete because we saw his speed on his touchdown. Yeah, watch him really. I mean, look at the difference in size, and Wise does everything he got. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, Booker was just poised there to snatch that one in.
Yeah, I think Booker could have been a little more aggressive and maybe asserted himself.
4th and 8, they'll go for it here from the 38, and now
he's bluffing.
I think we got a timeout. I think Bayside wanted to take a timeout.
Yeah, Coach Thomas was buffing there.
So, you know, Booker starts at safety as well. 6 interceptions on that side of the ball, but you know, you see he likes to be physical on the routes. That's twice we've seen some contact, and when you have that much size, it's, you know, just a little separation is all he needs.
Yeah, well, hats off to Wise. Hats off to Wise because of the job he did on that particular play.
Definitely made a great play, but I was going to say Booker also is the 2nd string quarterback. So if something happens to the starter, he goes into the key spot.
Yeah, he's a really good athlete.
And they're maximizing his talent.
Phil Lazenby there, coach of Bayside, 10th season. Boy, we had a fun watching him when he was the offensive line coach, assistant head coach at UMS. Sheriff's Office of Mobile and Baldwin County and the Drug Education Council. Also partners in our high school football game. Go build Alabama.com. Also Pepsi, a Pepsi halftime show coming up each and every week here on UTV 44. Phil Lazenby, you know, he walked on at Alabama, and head coach was Coach Bear Bryant. His position coach, Pat Dye.
Wow.
He walked on there, kind of a hybrid linebacker safety, and then ended up leaving Alabama after 1 year, got a full scholarship to go play over at Samford, and played there and had a great college career. And then, of course, after served 21 years in the military and just a fascinating guy to talk with about how he kind of fell in love with coaching and football again when he was in school, and Benjamin Russell and other places, and had a great run, as we mentioned, at UMS and Gunnersville. He was there as well.
I was looking at the Sanford roster last night, and it is laden with St. Paul's players. A lot of kids from St. Paul on the Sanford, right? Yes.
What a great shot here. She worked right over the press box behind us, Mobile Bay there. And more great support from our local business community, bringing high school football on Friday nights. Premier Motorsports to bring us the player of the game each and every week. Faulkner State. Zaxby's feed the crew each and every night here on UTV 44. They're going to go look in the press box. We're here at Bayside. What a great setup they have. Dan Brennan off to my right. Brian Anderson on the other side. Vic Lockett in the corner, per usual. Fourth down, they'll go for it here. Pressure coming and dropped all the way back at the 47. And again, we see Noah Waters. What a series he had defensively. And not only do they stop him, but they drive him back, and inside a minute, Bayside's going to have great field position here.
Like Noah floating on the water in his arc, unblocked, he'll take it every time.
Man, big time play by him, untouched, and that one just kind of backfired. Because if they block it, if they punt it right there, you know.
And we saw Atkinson's got a big leg, and now.
Tell you what, Noah looks the part.
Yes, he does.
47-yard line of their own, and Bayside down 4 here with a minute to work. Norton looking near sideline the whole time. Now comes over the middle of the field and short hop that one as he was trying to get that one off to Henry Wise, and it's incomplete.
Bayside 2-minute offense with 1 minute to go, and they spread everything out wide. They had 4 wide that time. An unusual look for them, except in a situation like this.
And he had an open receiver, just couldn't get it there.
Yeah, they'll put Cook up in the slot on the right side. Keep an eye on him. Shirley comes in motion. Norton rolls out. It's good protection. Dumps it to Shirley out of the backfield. And Shirley drops the shoulder, and Shirley's got a first down. Well executed play by the Admirals on that one.
Yep. Shirley he comes out of the backfield, but he does it in a delay way. That way he kind of gets lost in all the trash there and muscles his way to a first down.
Connor Sermon picking up the pressure there as well to give Reed Norton time. They stop the clock on first down, and here with 41 seconds to go, it's a GoBuildAlabama.com first down. And Bayside wanted to clock it.
That was a quick clock in there.
Second down for the Admirals. Coach Phil Lazenby this year won the Lefty Anderson Coaching for Service Award over at the Large Banquet this summer. Quite an honor for Coach Lazenby. And Lefty Anderson, of course, longtime coach.
Very honorable man there.
Yep. Looking. Zings it. Nice throw, able to get it complete to Wise, and Wise we brought down at the 32. But it's going to be good. The official says first down on the near side, which is exactly what Bayside needed.
That kid's a good little player, isn't he?
I really like Henry Wise, starting cornerback, and now they've got him out wide, and he took a lick on that one.
Yeah, it's nice design play, too. They fake the pass out wide, but have him running the slant underneath.
So that
catches it and
wow, this official. So the official over here said first down, but he was about a yard short, and so that forced Reed Norton to get up and clock it, and now it's fourth down. And I think that's one thing Coach Lazenby was a little upset about, is the official over here said first down, but they didn't.
Well, I can't blame him. At least the official crew can be on the same page. We don't actually do much other than that, but be on the same page at least.
Yeah, so fourth down and 2 here. Norton tries to go on the sneak ahead, and he will have it.
Yeah, it looks like he got good push again.
They got to get up to the line of scrimmage now.
Yep, we'll stop the clock quickly here. Moeller.
Well, that first down ought to stop the clock and give him a chance to reset.
They'll wind it again.
19 seconds. See if he continues the pattern here. If they take a shot and instead they just clock it.
Yeah, I think that makes sense.
It doesn't to me. You got a chance. You could have signaled a play in and go with it.
Well,
or run a player in and then go with it.
I'm not sure that quick getting the plays in quickly. Maybe we don't see a lot of that.
I mean, you're down to, it went from 19 to 17 that quickly. And I think that was the wise thing to do, Vic, to just kind of be able to gather yourself and huddle and call a play.
Yeah, I'd rather have the more opportunities, and that's one just not there.
Norton pressure coming, heaves it up. Kind of a jump ball in the back corner, and it's pulled down by Jolly with the interception. Now watch out, Jolly up the sideline. He plays wide receiver as well, and he's pushed out of bounds with 6 seconds left. And boy,
that sounds like
give Trentez Johnson all the credit on this because he put the pressure on to make Reed Norton have to heave it up. And Wise, not much of a chance there against Jolly.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what, you sound like that was a Merle Haggard song there, Jolly on the sideline. Maybe that's one I hadn't heard. Maybe it was on KSJ.
Yeah.
16 years of high school football. First time I've heard Lockett quote Merle Haggard.
I haven't even quoted Hag.
Up to the 39.
It's my day job.
With 5 seconds remaining after the INT there. But, boy, Johnson was really barreling down on Reed, and he just had to get it away.
He threw a pop-up.
As Fred Riley would call it, the old PE pass.
Yeah.
when Fred refers to it as a PE pass, it's usually not in a glowing light.
I miss my buddy, Coach Riley. Good man.
Well, we're going to see him soon. Winton at quarterback. Looking to the near side, right off to JoJo Booker. And Booker to the middle of the field. He'll be brought down. And that will close out the first half. Entertaining first half of football here tonight.
Yeah.
At Bayside Academy.
Good football.
14-10. T.R. Miller ranked number 8 in 3A. Bayside coming in with same record at 5-2. So we wait as Tara makes her way over to the far side to catch up with Coach Andrew Thomas and T.R. Miller.
Feeling the lean one way or other, but we'll see what Coach has to say, huh?
All right, let's go down to Tara. She's got Coach Thomas.
Coach, you knew tonight was going to be a physical game. You have multiple players playing both ways. How confident are you that they're going to be just as productive in the second half as they were in the first?
Well, I mean, our level of football, they've got a lot of guys having to do the same thing. So, I mean, it comes down to, what the time we put in the summer, all the training and what we've done to get to this point that, this is part of 3A football. And, we're used to it. So,
and you managed.
We preach 4 quarters, so.
You managed to get out on top going into halftime. How do you extend your lead coming into the second half?
Well, we got to take advantage of the opportunity we had there before the half. I mean, we had a chance to kind of get a 2-for-1 there if we could score, and then we're getting the ball. We just missed an opportunity, kind of shot ourselves in the foot on that drive. But, we hung in there, and I think we're playing well. We can't give anything away. I think if we keep staying physical, we wear them down.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Coach Andrew Thomas, he didn't get to T.R. Miller until April after all the spring practices had already taken place. So it was really kind of have to get everything put into place here the early parts of the season. And he's done a great job as T.R. Miller off to a good start. Boy, saw some great high school football last week in our game here on UTV 44, especially on the defensive side of the field. Vincent Fair, the young man with a big smile. He's a happy kid. He had a lot of reasons to be happy on Friday night, Dan Brennan.
Yeah, he introduced himself to us before the game. Hey, I'm 45 Vincent Fair. Keep an eye on me. Well, we couldn't take our eyes off him. The kid was terrific. The Viger defense was terrific. And a great game against Jackson.
Made a big play here to slow things down and then keeps going after it and helps finish off on the tackle. And just a great young man. The coaches love him up there at Viger High School, and he's leading the Wolves on that 6-game winning streak going into the matchup tonight against St. Paul's. And I just like the motor here too as he kept going and helps finish off on that play. At the end of tonight's game, we'll give you a chance to vote on the Tank Brown Award Player of the Week, brought to you by Premier Motorsports. You'll be able to go to local15tv.com, and we'll have 3 choices for you, and we'll tell you those coming up at the end of tonight's game. We'll take a timeout. When we come back, we'll hear from the T.R. Miller Band, also from Tara at the half. It's 14-10. T.R. Miller leads Bayside here on the UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. That's the halftime show here on the UTV 44 High School Football Game of the Week. 14-10. T.R. Miller with a lead over Bayside. Let's get on and enjoy the T.R. Miller Band.
This way. How much time until we're going on? Okay. Shirley, you want to answer? Yeah. You can kick that out of the way. That's fine enough. And if you want to look at the camera,
Halftime here at Bayside Academy in our UA Early College Game of the Week. 14-10. T.R. Miller leads the Bayside Admirals. Let's go down to the field, and Tara's got a Faulkner State Educator Spotlight. Tara.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm here with T.R. Miller Principal Ron Snell. And Ron, you're new to the community. What has been your first impression of Bruton?
Well, I have had the the good fortune of being at a big 6A high school as a principal and a smaller rural school, more like Bruton, and I've never been any place where they have it so together in terms of athletics, academics, and the arts. It doesn't really matter whether you're talking about the band that you just saw. They've had nothing but superiors all year, best in show for majorettes. You're talking about a choir that's getting ready to go and do it all state. Obviously, athletics is known at T.R. Miller. Our volleyball team is 12 years county champs, 4 years as area champs, and about to compete, obviously, in the area championships. And academics is also such a part of that community. We're about 8%, 30 or better on the ACT. at a school that is rural, and the demographics that we have, it's unheard of anywhere in the state. And so it's just a really remarkable place. And I guess the most amazing thing is just the sense of community. Just came through homecoming, built it up all month about how incredible it would be, and it did not disappoint, where they brought everybody, the alum. They're really a school about tradition, and what you saw was those people that built that legacy coming together with the kids that are continuing that legacy, and it was a really beautiful thing. So I'm blessed to be in Bruton, Alabama, and at T.R. Miller High School.
Wow. And then as a new principal, what are your future plans for T.R. Miller?
Well, at a place that's excelling that, at that level, I don't really have to do a whole lot. But I will say that early November, we'll have a visit from a group known as the A+ College Ready. And what that is, it's a $250,000 grant to build AP into the school. And so as we move forward, we'll be looking at that. Again, academics are so strong, athletics so strong, I don't really have to do a lot, which is a good thing as a principal, but we're looking at bringing that big $250,000 grant into Bruton, Alabama.
Wow, sounds like big plans. And also here I have our scholar athlete, Gracie Ruzick. Now, Gracie, as a senior, you start to make those college plans. Have you started to make those plans yet?
Yes, I plan to attend Auburn University in the fall of 2017. My major is pretty much undecided, but I'm leaning towards medical research analysis.
And then when you graduate, what are you going to miss most about T.R. Miller?
What I will miss most about T.R. Miller is all the support that I receive here, and we're all like a family, and we just love each other, and it really goes a long way. I mean, the teachers, the administration, the staff, the coaches, we all just really support each other no matter what sport, no matter what team, and it really goes a long way.
All right, Gracie, well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast Law Offices of Alexander Shannara, we'd like to present you with this plaque and a $250 scholarship. Jim, back up to you.
All right, thanks, Tara. Good work down there. Exciting times and great academic news coming out of Bruton. And Gracie, our Scholastic Athlete of the Week this week, and says she's going up to Auburn, thinking about medical research maybe, but that might change, and she's a member of the National Honor Society and Vice President of the Student Government Association. So congratulations to Gracie and all of our great student athletes up in Bruton tonight at T.R. Miller. And thanks also to our friends at the Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara. They are our sponsor every week of our Scholastic Athlete of the Week. Our halftime score here, 14-10, T.R. Miller on top. They're going to get the ball also to start things off in the second half. More to come here at halftime from Bayside on our Game of the Week on UTV 44. Here in our Game of the Week, T.R. Miller and Bayside. First time we've had a chance to do a game from Bayside. 14-10, T.R. Miller has the lead. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, and Vic Lockett here in this beautiful setting on the bay. And, we were so excited to come here. Wanted to see what a game here at Bayside was like, what the atmosphere was like. That's all great. The football's been better.
Yeah, first time at Bayside, and we're like, sign us up for the next time. We like it here. The football's been excellent.
It's really been a great matchup, yeah.
A couple of teams that are well coached, a lot of kids that are going both ways, but good athletes. There's some pretty good players out there. They just have to go both ways because of numbers, but we've enjoyed our first half at least.
Yeah, no, Vic Lockett, a couple of the guys you talked about early on, we saw JoJo Booker, what he can do, but I just think the coaching has kind of jumped off the field at us here tonight, how well both of these teams are coached.
Well, you expect them to, be coached up. As you talked about, they're great coaching, but what's standing out to me, how the kids hustle, which I expected that as well. They're smaller, but they're scrawny, and they're passionate about playing. And, they're doing it because they know this is probably going to be it. Not many of them are going to get a chance to go on the second level. So, hey, you're just getting good football.
And they get to be on TV tonight.
Exactly. They love to hear Jim Cox say this.
Yeah, there's Wise. Henry Wise takes an 82-yard pass, a quick little look in, caught a blitz coming, and a great throw from Reed Norton, and able to take it down the side of the field, and that was a big play. Put the Admirals on top, and then Michael Campbell. That was a 10-play drive finished off there by T.R. Miller, and then they go the other way to get a big play, and up. And this was JoJo Booker able to get the long reception there. That went 65 yards, and then an interception at the end of the half. Joshua Jolly comes up with it for T.R. Miller, and that pretty much wound down the first half, 14-10.
Getting Jolly on the sideline, I like it.
He was. Is that a Merle Haggard song?
I think that's going to be a title somewhere. Merle Haggard probably made.
14-10 our score. Things pretty close. Total offense, 186 yards to 167. I'm a little surprised surprised at just how the rushing game has been shut down and the passing game is more. You know, you've got not even 100 yards combined between the two teams on the ground, but more.
I agree with you there. I thought it would be a lot more running.
Yeah, just 2 penalties against T.R. Miller in the first half, none against Bayside, the 1 turnover we saw there. And so Bayside took the lead 7-0. T.R. Miller with 14 unanswered. Then Bayside gets the late field goal there. And Shirley, 7 carries in the first half. And let's see. Our crowd here right below us at Bayside, home of the Admirals. 14-10. They trail. They'll kick off. T.R. Miller will have it to start period number 3 here on UTV 44. This one back underway here tonight at Bayside Academy. 14-10. T.R. Miller on top of Bayside. Jim Cox, Dan Brett, and Vic Lockett, Tara Reeves on the sideline. Coach Phil Lazenby on the Bayside squad. And he just had a chance to talk with our Tara Reeves. Let's find out what he had to say. Tara.
Yes, Jim. Coach Lazenby said that they're going to have to play assignment defense in order to win this game. And also they're going to have to give Reed more protection up front. He said, ultimately, you just have to have 1 more point than the other team to come out on top. He's still feeling confident about his chances.
Phil Lazenby succeeded D.D. Thompson, who started the program here first 6 years, a brother of Terry Thompson, uncle of Ty Thompson, and who's the starting the program back in 2001, got it off the ground, and then Phil Lazenby's been here. He went 22 and 33, getting it started. Didn't make the playoffs, but got that foundation laid. And then Coach Lazenby comes in and really has done a great job here in his 10 years at Bayside. And the kick to the near sidelines, and it goes out of bounds at the 32. And now we'll see. Just like
they're
going
to make him kick it again.
We'll see if...
Yeah, I didn't necessarily like that decision, but you know it didn't come back to hurt him. You know, I'd love to start the drive on the 45.
Kick out of bounds on the kicking team. They chose to go back 5 yards and re-kick.
He makes the same decision. Maybe he wants to get the ball into the kick returner's hand because he's dangerous, but I'd just rather start him off right there on the 45. They're not take the penalty. What, it would be 10 or 5, 15?
It must be an up man that's dangerous because the ball's not getting back toward the return guy anywhere.
Yeah, it was coming over here toward Josh Jolly, and we saw he has some speed up the side, and they have all the way back deep is Campbell. He starts coming downhill with the ball on a kick return. So Mac Douglas will kick it again. Pooches it same side, and Jolly will take it right at the 30. Jolly move at the 35, and so they end up picking up a few as they get out to the 41.
Getting Jolly on the numbers this time.
Hey, how about here's what T.R. Miller has done. We talked about that first tough loss they had when they turned it over 5 times to Opp, and then another tough one against Mobile Christian, and then they've got Clark County next week, and W.S. Neal to close things out. Bayside on the road the next 2 weeks. This is their final home game. Senior night here tonight. Kind of an interesting mix. The fall break here for Bayside. Kids were out at noon yesterday and off today. A lot of seniors going to visit colleges. So the student body might be down a little bit more than normal tonight. Pass out to the far side, and this is Booker, and Booker up the far sidelines inside the 30, and a big play.
Yeah, Booker's booking it up the
I almost said that, Vic,
there.
and I thought I'd sound very 70s if I did. JoJo takes it.
You know, if you want to sound 70s, have your name be JoJo Booker. He already sounds like he's out of the 70s.
Should we move it up to JJ Booker? Will that modernize it for you?
By the way, also, there was some excellent blocking on the outside to get Booker that free that quickly.
So Bryant over there now playing defense as well. Winton rolls out, looking.
There again, QB wanting to get down the field. Thought he had a guy short. He could have got
I thought he had the fullback again. I thought maybe he could have come to the big fullback, Terrence Hall.
He kept looking at his brother in the end zone.
Terrence Hall must not be buying lunch enough.
Terrence Hall, 5'10", 240. Somebody's buying lunch.
Yeah, he's eating all of it. Ain't sharing it with the quarterback.
You bring him into.
Got to get a quarterback you dessert at least so you can get some passes on Friday night.
2nd and 10. Give this one up to Campbell with a lot of speed. Takes it to the 24.
Yeah, had some space up the middle there. He just straight ahead, downhill running right there.
This TR Miller team won the region last year under the tutelage of Jamie Riggs, who retired, was there from 1989 to 2015. Campbell again lunges near the 20.
Yeah, that's the kind of game I was expecting a little bit more of him going downhill with the size and quick feet looks like he has.
You know, we talked about this last week or one of our recent games where sometimes you'll just see like a completely different team show up in the second half than you saw in the first half. And sometimes it's really at the line of scrimmage.
You know, we credit these coaches for going in and making adjustments. Coach Andrew Thomas, he's got some success. He knows what he's doing, huh, Dano?
Oh, yes, he does.
Winton up to the top of the screen. Jolly comes in motion to the bottom. They'll give it to Jolly on the inside, and it's read well. And Mac Douglas, the sophomore, didn't get sucked in, was able to make the stop up on the far side, and Killian Cahaley in to help make the tackle as well.
Both these defenses seeing some plays that they defend against during the week because the offenses are very similar, and there you had a guy staying home on a misdirection.
Yeah, I think we see TR Miller's team next year probably see more of that kind of wing tee offense as Coach Thomas able to get more implemented.
That's what he really likes.
Now we'll go single back with Campbell, and they'll pitch it to him this time on the right side, and Campbell makes a nice little move. And
yeah, that was a nice little shoulder lean and get upfield.
Down to the 14-yard line. You know, we haven't seen the option much. We thought we might see a little more of that out of TR Miller.
Your buddy Coach Hardy was complaining about that as I talked to him at halftime because that was his offense, the Oklahoma triple option.
I think he'll probably see as they get more of that offense really put in and kids used to what they're doing up there in TR Miller. Is this TR Miller program's not going to take a step backwards, that's for sure. Up the middle hit. And that's Connor Sermon.
Yeah, he's up there preaching, isn't he?
Yeah, two big backs running into one another there, Campbell and Sermon. He was the quarterback last year.
Yeah, he would. You talk about Sermon. He's coming up right here and preaching the gospel.
Meeting of a couple of men right there.
I always like when your quarterback's one of the toughest kids on the field, too. And
I always think that pays a lot of dividends, and so you can see how through his leadership they were able to get to that state championship game last year. Tough hombre.
4th and 4, and again, they'll go for it. Winton pitches it out to Campbell on the left side. More pressure. Campbell breaks through, and he's in for the touchdown.
Yeah, he had two defenders out there. He just left them standing there gathering wind. I thought he was going to be stopped dead to rights, but he just passed on by him like a 18-wheeler going in the fast lane.
14-yard touchdown run for Michael Campbell. And his 9th touchdown in the last 4 games.
Yeah, get him going a little wide, and then he turns it up. That one he probably thought was a little too easy.
Yeah, good pointing, blocking at the point of attack again, and watch that extra point. It does sneak through. Yeah.
Morgan with the PAT. TR Miller comes out, scores on their first possession. They've extended the lead to 11 here against Bayside on the UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. TR Miller opens up with a touchdown here on their first possession in the second half. Morgan with a kickoff and bangs that one up out of bounds. And we'll see.
See where Coach Lazary decides.
Kick it again. No, he says, back him up. Let's kick it again. So how about game going on Old Shell Road right now? St. Paul's on top 21-0. Iger storms back, ties it at 21. And then each team with a fumble on their first possession to start the third quarter. And so we're still tied at 21 in that matchup to see who wins Region 1 and 5A.
Well, I was shocked how lopsided it was, so this is more what I expected out of that game.
Another big score. Daphne leading Blunt 14-6 at the half. Not very far from here.
Man, that team just turned everything around from early in the season.
Defense, I understand, going on over there.
Started out with a loss to Davidson.
Spanish Fort,
Yeah, Spanish Fort. And both those games, they struggled.
Yep.
Did they beat Saraland, Daphne?
They did.
That was that was their third. That was their first win of the season, week 3, and that held on and really
kind of juiced them up a little bit.
Absolutely.
Good for Kenny King.
Now they'll pooch this one to the far side and sliding catch up at the 37-yard line.
Gives them great field position there.
Mac Douglas. And let's go down to Tara. She's got our Faulkner State Educator Spotlight.
Thanks, Jim. I'm here with Bayside Academy's history chair, Josh Montgomery. And Josh, tell me about the unique environment in classrooms here at Bayside Academy.
Well, we're very excited about our academic momentum right now. We have incredibly diverse things happening in the classroom and beyond. We just have a full-fledged STEAM program being put into place at all grade levels, so grades K through 12. They are just kind of combining disciplines, every day in the classroom, project-based learning, things of that nature. We also have an interdisciplinary studies elective that I'm actually on a team of teachers for. So we have 5 teachers, and we're studying art, politics, economics, history, film, music, all at the same time. We just have some really exciting things going on that are very unique.
And then for parents trying to figure out where they want to send their kids to school, why should they choose Bayside?
Well, aside from the beautiful aesthetic appeal, we are perched atop a historic bluff. It's absolutely breathtaking every day to be at work. But the independent school environment, the small classrooms, we have an incredibly energized faculty, disciplined, focused on helping children grow both inside and outside the classroom. Just for this community, this region, and really we think, in the Southeast at large, we really have a lot to offer. Oh, and also shout out to Maze. Go to sleep.
All right, thank you, Josh. Back up to you, Jim.
All right, thanks, Tara. Thanks, Josh. Yeah, Bayside, a lot going on here. Hey, great run there on first down to pick it up. How about, just everything else going on at Bayside Academics we could talk about all night? 14 state titles in a row, volleyball. 14 in a row, longest streak of any kind in Alabama high school sports history. They've got 20 overall, but 14 in a row. Ann Schilling in her 26th year here, the volleyball coach. They're playing in the semis on Monday in the area semis against Clark County. And last year, Bayside, 2016 soccer champions as well. So got to the semifinals got lost in the championship game in football. And good group of athletes moving through Bayside right now.
Yeah, and then when you talk about the academics, you got a history guy right there they were talking to. History's in your backyard.
Oh.
Mobile Bay, it edges up to the campus. Let's talk the battle.
Yeah, that's the thing to me. If you come visit this community college campus, you're going to want to come here.
Drop good coverage downfield, and Trentez Johnson again in there, and Norton just had nowhere to go with the football.
That's exactly what Lazenby was talking about. We got to give our guy more time.
Johnson with the stop, and it's going to bring up 3rd and 16. What a night for Johnson so far. He's been in there and very disruptive. Yeah, one of the buildings still here. Used to be a hotel and many other things back in the day, but it survived it's here during the Civil War, survived the Battle of Mobile Bay.
Yeah, they don't have any trouble enticing kids to come here, I imagine.
And whistle, we'll see if T.R. Miller maybe he took the timeout. Yeah, it was T.R. Miller who took it on 3rd and 16. Boy, it's not like something they saw pre-snap there to take a timeout on 3rd and 16. And just finishing up about Bayside here, too. We're talking about all the great things they have. Biology class. If you want to study biology, walk out to the pier. They have their own pier, and so they do science and biology studies right on the pier here in Mobile Bay.
What a resource.
So we talked about our trivia question earlier in the first half, brought to you by New Horizons Credit Union. A lot of great football being played throughout the state of Alabama in the last 25 years. What teams won the most, got the highest winning percentage over the last quarter century?
Does Spanish Fort get in there?
Well,
25. Won quite a few, but they hadn't been here 25 years.
They've not been here 25 years.
You didn't say all 25. You said last.
I'm too embarrassed. I'm too embarrassed to make a guess.
Oh, Dan Brennan, no, you should. You should make a guess.
Well, the guess would be T.R. Miller.
There you go. Dan Brennan, T.R. Miller, 83%.
Well, I asked you, were you making it that easy, Jim? You've never done that for me.
Well, obviously it wasn't that easy because you didn't get it right, Vic.
Well, I said that earlier.
Lucky you picked a school that's been around for 11 years.
Third and
He didn't say all 25.
16 rolling out. Norton looking. Now he's going to pull it down, and the gap is going to close, and a big hit right at the sideline as JoJo Booker
He
makes
laid
Norton
the helmet
play.
on in there. He would actually probably be setting out the second half of next week if this was college. He didn't say all 25.
Let's see. Here's, again, nothing downfield for Norton.
Yeah, that's old school tackling right there. That's the way
Just
Coach Hardy used to teach.
Good, hard-nosed high school football.
Can't leave with the helmet these days, though.
So
ill-advised.
Well, Booker said, if I'm going to run across the field, I'm going to get a payoff.
And that was my thinking back in the day. And I'm going to lead with my head.
Connor Sermon on to punt.
That's why I don't know the answer to those questions.
Left-footed kick and a line drive. Good kick. Wow, good catch by Booker at the 20. That was like a line drive knuckleball coming right at him.
Yeah, that was like playing third base. He's not sure what to do there.
Well, he saved him some yardage unless that would have went into the end zone. So I'm sure his coach is like, that is a play.
Booker's a good-looking athlete right
Good
there.
high school football player.
Yep.
And let's go down to Tara, and she's got the Scholastic Athlete this week from Bayside.
Thank you so much, Jim. I'm here with Savannah. And Savannah, what does Bayside mean to you?
Bayside means a lot to me because I've grown up here since I was a little kid. I've been here for about 15 years, and getting to all the people and being with all those people for that long of a time is really good for me. And so it means a lot. It means just about everything.
And then when you graduate,
We'll come back to Tara momentarily, but on the handoff, the ball popped in the air. Jimbo Cassidy, the sophomore linebacker, comes up with it for the Admirals, takes it in for the score, and just like that, Bayside a chance to cut it to 4 with a defensive touchdown. Let's watch here.
Well, you want to say this was misfortune, but Bayside had something to do with it.
Yeah, they were trying to give it to the fullback.
They were in the right place at the right time to gather it in.
Trying to give to the fullback Hall, and he went to one side, and the handoff was going to the other side.
And I think that's the first time they gave it to Hall.
Had a carry, I think, one in the first half maybe, but wow, ball comes up in the air, and Jimbo Cassidy, the sophomore, very alertly able to grab it and took it in, and wow, this game is turned 21-17 now with a big score by Bayside, and that'll make Savannah happy. I mean, she's been here a long time. I'm not sure she's seen many plays like that. All right, back down to Tara and Savannah.
Savannah, you must be good luck because Bayside just scored their second touchdown of the night. So, adding on to that, 15 years, that's incredible. When you graduate this summer, what are you going to miss most about Bayside Academy?
I'm going to miss being part of plays like that just happened right there behind me. I'm really going to miss all these people and everybody behind me in the stands. You know, I could tell you their life story because I've been here for so long, and I'm really going to miss these relationships that I built with all these people back here behind me, and all the games that I'll miss, you know, going to college. So that'll be pretty good.
All right, Savannah, well, on behalf of the Gulf Coast Law Offices of Alexander Shannara, we'd like to present you this plaque as well as a $250 cash scholarship.
But, you know, Savannah, I could be here until Tuesday reading her list of accomplishments here at Bayside. So many things going on, so many great things. I will tell you, too, she loves to fish with her grandfather.
Well, that's probably number one to Jim. That trumps everything.
Almost all the rivers in Alabama. She loves to fish. She loves to camp, those type of things. Soccer, basketball. Now an onside kick attempt here goes out of bounds in Savannah.
Strike the iron while it's hot.
Yeah, and Coach Lazenby said, you know, we don't have any trick plays in the bag here, but Coach Thomas was saying, no, they can do it. So see everything and got going on there for Savannah. 4.23 GPA, just a wonderful representation, I think, of a Bayside senior young woman here. And congratulations to Savannah Cummings, our Senior Athlete of the Week.
You look at all the accomplishments, and all Savannah could really talk about were the relationships.
Yep.
You know, which is a great lesson in life. If that's the way she's going to approach her life beyond academics, understanding the importance of maintaining great relationships, she's in good shape.
All right, thanks to our Gulf Coast offices of Alexander Shannara. Now the crowd comes to life here. We'll go back off to Campbell, and Campbell to the 44-yard line. Noah Waters in there to make the stop.
I got a feeling there's still going to be another play action going deep.
Well, they're setting it up here with this tailback.
And especially with the success they had, there's 4 yards on first down. They just have the matchup, especially with Booker and his size.
Gain of 3 on first down. Winton out of the shotgun. A high snap back to Campbell, and Campbell he stopped again. Third down coming up here. Yeah, you know, not going to see the Wildcat. Not going to see all these crazy formations here from these two teams. We're just going to see old school high school football here tonight on UTV 44.
And I'm loving it. 5 yards in a cloud of dust.
Well executed.
2 yards.
Yeah, that one too.
A Bayside player down lost his helmet. I think that was Connor Sermon.
Yeah, you heard the helmets and the pads all pop on that play. Everybody took a licking on that one.
That's Hall, 240 pounds, trying to get up. Sermon comes off and appears he'll be okay. So he had just a quick word there with Phil Lazenby, and now they look at the...
Yeah, prayerfully he's A-okay and come over here and get some Powerade and get back in the game. Let's see what's going on with the other player down there. T.R. Miller player.
Terrence Hall. And
hope he's okay.
And a lot of collision there, and oh yeah, it looks like he just kind of got twisted, and yeah, oh boy, you hate that in the middle of the pile with both legs kind of underneath in there, and hopefully just kind of.
Yeah, football players are not designed to do splits.
5'10", 240-pound football players.
Definitely not.
No, but he looks like hopefully he was just a little shaken up there. It looks like he's.
There's a precious small percentage of us who are designed to do those splits.
You one of them, Dano?
No, I'm not. No, I'm not.
Just trying to figure out who the us of the split moving ability is.
Talking about Earthlings.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Very general. 3rd and 4 after the gain of 3. This could be a big play in the drive in the game here. 3rd down. They'll put Booker up to the top of the screen, and they'll pitch it to Campbell behind Booker, and he's lowers his shoulder, and he's going to have the first down there.
88 toss.
Yeah, observation. When they were 4th down and they had to get 4 yards, there was no hesitation, and it was a toss sweep. And here they are again going for a first down. No hesitation. Toss sweep. They like that play, obviously, and it's worked twice in a big spot.
Campbell with the first down.
Yeah, I imagine he started all up a few yardages now.
High snap. Winton rolls to the right side, fires, and comes to Booker, and got it, and he's slippery. And he's to the 25, and he's got another first down here for T.R. Miller.
Booker did a good job running that out there, too.
Yeah, did you see that route he ran?
Yeah.
I'm kind of one eye's on him. You didn't know I could do that like a fish.
Yeah,
so I had one eye on him.
You got the periphery. You've been watching football.
And he's a good, solid route runner. He's got a little more speed than you think, and also a really competitive kid. So it's nice to get the ball in his hands and just see what happens from there.
At the 26 for the Tigers, and Booker in motion. Pressure coming. Noah Waters grabs a hold of Winton, who gets away from it. Now giving chase Northcutt. And Winton gets it off. Great composure.
Guess who?
And Booker started on the near side of the field, came in motion all the way around. It ends up catching it down at the 13-yard line.
I think the idea was to get it to him early, but with Waters coming in and disrupting everything, it was much later in the play. See, he's looking for Booker right there.
I would, too. He's about
6'3".
Yeah.
So then Booker keeps on drifting, and then suddenly he's the SOS guy. Just says, I'm here.
Great job by Winton to get away from Waters on that one. Campbell up the middle. Ball comes loose again. Still loose on the far side of the field. Haley was over there close, but T.R. Miller able to come up with a loose ball on the far side. Wow, that one popped straight up the ear, similar to the touchdown we just saw a few moments ago.
Yeah, they're having trouble hanging on to it right now. And he was going like he was going to have some positive yardage there, but the ball just
came loose, and then it
just comes out.
And then got knocked up in the air, and that was Thadu Berry.
Personal foul. Roughing the passer on the defense. First down.
Roughing the who?
Passer. Maybe some activity after he's gotten rid of the football.
Well, roughing the quarterback, I guess what they're saying.
Yeah. Well, not too bad to me, because you don't know if he's still got the ball. A lot of times you could fake that little boot there. So
Right. And the ball
on the
was
defender side there, of course, as usual. Jim
Well,
would expect.
it was designed to make you question whether he still had it or not.
That's part of carrying out your fake as a quarterback.
Unless you can crawl into the mind of the defender.
now late substitution, and then we had the official who was actually going to look like he started to throw the flag and then stuck it back down his pocket.
I heard a whistle.
Yeah, now the play
we
clock
need to
down
reset
to
the
10.
clock.
This is, holy cow, and now they give it off to Campbell, who bowls in for the touchdown.
A weird sequence there.
That was a late substitution, and then the whistle blew, and it was like the official had reached in and was going to start to pull the flag out, and he said, that's only 11. I guess we're okay. And so we'll play on. And then he wanted it, and he was calling for the clock to be reset. Yes.
Oh, he did. Well, that's good job then by him. Yeah.
But it didn't
happen.
And
which tells me, though, had the play clock ran down, he would have stopped the play and said, hey, no. Started on my sound.
Maybe.
Well, he's got...
wash your hands of the whole thing.
No, he's got 400 or 500 people here watching him, and then the TV cameras. You can't say I didn't do it.
T.R. Miller,
I would.
Trying to decide. They're trying to get the kicking ball in the game here.
Aren't you a part-time magician, too, in your showbiz life?
Showbiz life.
Well, we just learned about the new eye trick you can do with, one going to each side.
So you got to be a magician at some point.
I'm not Jimmy Fallon. I'm just partly cloudy high 80. That's all I do.
Morgan with the PAT, and a big score by T.R. Miller after the Bayside defensive touchdown. And it's now 28-17. After Campbell's third touchdown of the night.
With authority.
Kid. 28-17 here at Bayside. Jim Cox, Dan Brennan, Vic Lockett, Jared Kihas in the truck. Tara Reeves on the sideline. Brian Anderson, our statistician, 7 plays, 48 yards. Campbell with his third touchdown of the night, a 5-yard carry, and put an exclamation point on it once he crossed the goal line there. On that one.
He's at 72 yards. He's on pace to make 100.
Now, hustling all the way back for this one is Nate Cook, and Cook up the middle of the field out to the 20.
Well, surprise, they can keep kicking deep if they choose to.
Yep.
They were holding that card back.
Yeah, there's some kind of strategy going on there. He's probably gotten his scouting report reason he's been trying to kick it short.
Had some scores, just interesting games going on here tonight. Daphne 21-6 continues to lead Blunt over at Jubilee Stadium.
Tough to play at home there, huh?
St. Paul's 28-21 lead over Viger in the fourth, but the Wolves are driving. They're down at the St. Paul's 10 right now. And I'm going to tell you about what's going on at Ladd Stadium. Give Seth Shirley. So we watched Cooper Christian, the quarterback last week for Jackson, struggle to throw the ball against Viger. Tonight he's 19 of 27 for 407 yards and 4 touchdowns as Jackson leads Davidson 42-24.
I wonder how many yards Lev Holly's kid has got receiving the football, because he seemed to be their primary guy.
Well, that's the reason I said I wanted to see that Jackson team again against a team that is not so tough on defense, because I just saw things like that possible with that
but
team.
I think we all thought Davidson was pretty good on defense because they're one of the ranked teams.
I wasn't aware of that.
7A.
Pulling it down. Norton takes a big bump from Nicholson, but he falls out to the 26, and third and about 3 coming up here for Bayside. As I said, this is the last home game for Bayside, so they really want to win here tonight so they could open up at home in the playoffs as a number 2 seed. They go to Flomaton and then in Carroll, jump up 2 more classes again to play 5A Carroll on the road to close out the regular season.
Up in Birmingham.
Yep. Well, there it is right there. You look at the season they've had. The middle and first down is good work by Reed Norton. Well, he's a scrappy high school football player this season. We talked about lost 21-0 and then fell to Mobile Christian, the same team that has gone unbeaten in the region here. They also beat T.R. Miller, and then, as we said, Flomanton and Carroll to close things out for Bayside. And then if they don't win here tonight, probably a first-round road matchup, and unless something strange happens next week. Winner of this game will probably be that number 2 seed, and looking, dumping it out, Seth Shirley to the 37-yard line.
Nice job by Tyrese Nicholson there, keeping his feet moving, not getting frozen there on the offensive player.
Now a minute and a half to go in the third.
Not showing any hurry-up tendencies here at Bayside, even they're down by a couple of scores.
We got a full quarter, so I don't think we need to go goofy or anything.
Reed Norton up the middle, and he's hit at the 40. And really, I mean, T.R. Miller turned it over, but Bayside hasn't slowed him down much. The other 2 possessions here in the third quarter, marched the ball down the field for scores. Saw linebacker Ty Lett there, leading tackler for this T.R. Miller team. At the 43rd and 3 for the Admirals. Cook in motion, takes the late pitch. But Cook is going to be wrapped up and brought down. Tyrese Nicholson, and boy, you know, John Bryant, the wide receiver there, he wanted to help, but if he does anything, it's going to be a block in the back to the near side here. But
watch it here. Credit Nicholson. He's making back-to-back plays here, just getting the defender, getting the offensive player off of him and making a play.
Yeah, also the fact was it had to be a pitch because the quarterback was under duress immediately.
Coach Lazenby will let the time run out here and then think about what he wants to do from his own 39 on 4th and 4 coming up to start quarter number 4.
Yeah, he's got to put his defense out there.
Punt the ball deep, says Vic Lockett. Through 3 here today on the Bay. Bayside trailing 28-17 against T.R. Miller on our UA Early College Game of the Week on UTV 44. Here at Bayside Academy, the T.R. Miller band. It's really cool where they're at right now. There's not really bleachers over there. It's a big sloping hillside. They cut and actually put bleachers into the ground, and they use it as a terracing program in landscaping. As Sermon will kick this one off, and T.R. Miller had nobody back deep to start the 4th quarter here. They weren't buying that at all, and so T.R. Miller will be down to the 22-yard line. Hey, let's go down to the sidelines. Tara Reeves has a special guest on the sideline. A little history we're going to talk about here. Tara.
I sure do, Jim. I have one of our own family members here at Game of the Week, Vic Lockett's former high school coach, Coach Henry Hardy. And Coach Henry, you know, Vic was at Blunt when you first met him. How'd you lure him over to come to Shaw?
Well, he wasn't at Blunt. He lived in the Blunt school zone.
Okay.
But as an 8th grader, I went to see him and his mom, and he decided to come to Shaw.
And we've heard a little bit about the good old days, but tell us firsthand what it looked like having Vic Lockett out there on the field.
When Victor came out on the field, we were a better team. I promise. He was an outstanding athlete.
How'd he make you look as a coach?
He made us all look better. He really did.
And then when colleges started kind of throwing themselves in the mix, what was it like getting those phone calls, having them come watch the practice, and then I heard you took him on his first visit to Alabama?
I did. I had the opportunity to drive him to Tuscaloosa. I think it was an LSU game, and Vic loved it, and that's where he wanted to go. And it was a good decision for Vic. He won a national championship there and never looked back.
And we love Vic Lockett here on the show, but what is he like when we turn the cameras off?
Well, just to tell you one story, he had a good friend named Chris Brooks that played for us, and they could imitate me in the locker room. And I would walk by the locker room, and it would sound like it was me talking to me. So that was a lot of fun.
Oh, my goodness. And also, I understand you have a very special nephew here tonight, Seth Shirley playing running back. What do you want to say to Seth?
I'm proud of Seth. Good luck, Seth.
All right, guys, back up to you.
Oh, great job, Tara.
Was that worth it or what?
It's Henry Hardy.
You guys pulled one on me there.
We didn't tell you it was coming.
No, you didn't.
I've gotten to know Henry over the last 5 or 6 years. He's a wonderful, wonderful gentleman. And you're a little emotional hearing that, Vic.
Yeah, that kind of shocked me there, and that took me back in the day, like you say. And, Coach Hardy, he put the reins on me, and, he's part of why I'm the man I am today.
The point I wanted to make, just how much a high school football coach can influence a young man's
a dead
life.
ball, personal foul on the offense. A 15-yard penalty.
Evidently, first you got to get a hold of him because it looks like Lockett here, our buddy to the right, he enjoyed 2 recruiting seasons. It just happens one was out of the 8th grade. You must have been a man-child at 13.
Yeah, I was a little bit bigger than everybody. You guys hear me talk about eating all the time. I didn't just develop this tonight or last week.
Oh, well, thanks for Henry, and thanks for Vic.
That was really cool, man. Coach Hardy's a great man. Thank you so much, Jared.
Second and 21. Up the near side is the fullback, and he's good to see him back in the game to 41, Terrence Hall. Just to finish that up, Henry coached and then left public schools and became a very successful businessman over here on the Eastern Shore. And there's Hall moving forward, and looks like he kind of got rolled up a little bit on that again. Yeah. Saw a flag come down in that play. It looks like they're going to back up T.R. Miller once again.
Coach Hardy did a good job of censoring that too, and not really.
On the offense, half the distance to the goal. The second down.
Not telling you guys the big phrase these days, locker room talk.
Yeah. Hey, I tell you one thing. You can ask anybody that Dan Brennan or I've ever talked to about Vic Lockett, and we just rave how much we love the man right here next to us.
Well,
we do.
The man has lived, several decades in one city and has not developed one enemy yet. So.
That you're aware of.
That I'm aware of.
2nd and 30 for T.R. Miller, and they'll keep it on the ground, and nothing doing there. And 3rd and long come now. This Bayside get a stop here, get the ball back in great field position.
Well, that penalty was a big deal right there because they ripped off a big run and then got it back, and it was shot to get that first down. And now you see them in dire straits here behind the sticks, way behind the sticks.
Yeah, looking for, I don't see Booker out there. I see Winton up to the top of the screen. I could be wrong. Could be Booker up there. No, it's Winton.
15 and 14, right?
They give it right on the ground. Campbell up the right side. And I think Coach Thomas is just saying, hey, my defense has been playing pretty well here tonight. I'm up by 2 scores. Let's punt the ball away and live for another day.
You take your time here, and you punt it away, and there's about one less minute for Bayside to operate down 2 scores. So, like I said, when the legend left, they chose wisely in Coach Thomas. You can see that he is a confident manager of the game and is aware of what he's doing.
Reed Norton will stand right at midfield. And they have Booker come on to kick this one, and Norton falls on it to the 49. So good field position for the Admirals.
Nice job fielding that, not letting it get any deeper. His team in good field position on their side of the 50.
More of our fine sponsors here on high school football on UTV 44. Papa Murphy's taking baked pizza. They bring us the Hey Guys each and every week.
I'll take a couple.
Here on UTV 44, Alexander Shinara, the Gulf Coast offices, our Scholastic athlete every week. And also New Horizons Credit Union helps us fool Vic Lockett on a weekly basis on the trivia questions.
Yeah, not hard to fool me, as you figured out.
Here we go. The Admirals, Norton. Play action, has time. Floats one to the near side into double coverage, and second pick in the night for Josh Jolly. Jolly up the near side, looking for some blockers to get in front of him, and he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 41.
There's our man again, Jolly getting Jolly on the sideline. Don't hit my girl Tara on there, though, as you celebrate.
Second interception tonight. That one just a little underthrown, and Jolly had safety help behind him with Booker. If Jolly doesn't grab it, Booker probably moves in and tries to get his 7th of the season. But a turnover
Now, this is the sort of thing, and it goes without saying, turnovers is what kills the football game for a team.
So tough to win a game when you lose the turnover battle. It's now 2-1. 2 turnovers for Bayside and 1 for T.R. Miller that resulted in a score.
Yeah, T.R. Miller's not only led to a score for Bayside, it was the score. So they know the sting of the turnover. And with that in mind, and these big backs and an offensive line starting to grind a little bit, let's see if they keep it on the ground. They like that toss.
Pitch to Campbell. Campbell brought down Gavin Prim over there helping on the stop along with Noah Waters at the 45.
Well, you of all people, Dan Brennan, you ought to know that toss because that's what you guys specialize in, Georgia Bulldogs with Lars Tate.
Hey, this game has looked so great here on TV tonight. D'Ambro Chapman down there in the end zone giving you a great shot.
Chapman wanted to work me last week after the game.
I'd like to update you on the Georgia roster. Lars Tate no longer a part of the Dogs.
Hey, I want to.
You're a historian of the team.
He had a good season in '85.
I do. Hey, I want to update you on Old Shell Road right now. As Viger just sacked Swift Lyle in the end zone for a safety to take a 29-28 lead over St. Paul's.
There's their 2-point conversion.
Yep. With 9 minutes left to go.
No matter how you get it, huh, Dan?
Yeah, get that too.
And looking down in the sideline or the end zone there, our higher end zone, Andrew Dullison. He's got to dodge the extra points coming at him as well, and also has to stand up there in pregame and make sure the kickers don't hit the camera because every kicker on the planet wants to hit the camera in pregame. And if I was a kicker, I would
you'd be the greatest offender. We always hear it. I mean, time and time again. Boy, the broadcast looked great. Well, it looks great, not because of us, but because of the people you just saw and others.
3rd and 4. Campbell hit and dropped. Great penetration by Noah Waters.
Tell you what.
Those two have butted heads a few times here tonight.
Yeah, Noah driving the arc through the waters right there says, hello, sit down here.
He just took a path. He just kind of he just slanted his way in. Did not take the blocker on straight up and made his way to the backfield, and there was the play.
Yeah, this is what you get on this level of football. They don't care about the score. Hey, they're going to play.
4th and 6, and no hesitation here from T.R. Miller. They're going to go for it from the 37.
They like to toss it. Toss sweep.
Booker to the near side. They fake to Campbell, and now Winton wants to roll it down, takes a big hit, and fires it off, and it's incomplete. Wow, he paid the price.
Yeah, hey, I thought he had his choice, but he ran out of real estate there and just kept drifting to the sideline.
Henry Wise broke that one up in a defensive stand by the Admirals. And so they'll take back over the 37 here with 6:20 to go. Another score to update you on. Hey, there's Vanya Kai gives us those great sideline shots. You see those replays of the ball spiraling in the air. And
he's been here long as I've been here.
Seth Shirley splits the 2 defenders and slips away from him and then gets hit up the near side and dropped down. And hustling over there was Johnson again.
Your old coach's nephew's a competitor, isn't he?
He is. Yeah, he's making some plays, and like I said, these guys, they don't, they want to win the game. Now, I say they don't care about the score, but they're going to play until the last whistle is blown.
Not sure he's got as many touches as maybe they would have liked coming into the game, just the way the game has kind of unfolded in front of him.
But a lot of that is the fact that T.R. Miller can keep it on the ground and keep the ball away from you.
Pickup of 8 on 1st down for Shirley. And then this is Connor Sermon, and he's got the 1st down to midfield. Another score to update you on north of here. This one a surprise, number 1 team in 4A, UMS Wright. Now down 42-30 with 3.5 to go to Thomasville tonight, and that will be a shocker in 4A in region play.
Is that game on Old Shell Road or up in Thomasville?
That is in Thomasville.
Home teams are doing well tonight.
Reed Norton rolls out, looks pressure again, fires, able to get that one complete. And Bryant with his first catch of the night. He's got another Bayside 1st down.
I know Bryant was out there. Come on with it. I've been here waiting.
Hey, and I can tell you, for Norton, that's a nice throw.
We've seen a couple of good passes out of him.
That is an Alabama Secretary of State first down. Now you're right, you're rolling to your left and then throwing back across your body.
Yeah, no, he didn't just lob it. He hummed it in there and got him a first down.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. I've seen a couple of good passes out of this guy.
The one that went for 82 in the first quarter to get the scoring going for Bayside here. They're down 11 with 5.5 to go. Shirley cuts it up the inside. And he'll get to the 35-yard line and bangs ahead for a few. Looked like that was going nowhere. And able to help out on the tackle. Henry Davison and Josh Jowley both around there. They were trying to strip that football out as it actually came away from his body a little bit. Right on top of us, Thomas McDonald and Rodney Middlebrook on top of us. Beautiful night here. And giving us those great shots.
They can turn around and see the city of Mobile in the bay.
See the RSA tower.
Yeah, McDonald's my guy that gets me enough light when we get our own camera shots.
Thomas, multi-talented. Very talented young man, and we love him being a part of our crews. We do. We talk about it every week. The crew gets here early. They stay late. They work in the heat, the rain.
And I don't think that they hear all the compliments that we do because people associate us with the and these are the faces that you don't know. And it's nice
who's waving out the window right there? Is that Ed? Is Ed, our fella Ed? Jonathan Braswell bringing you all those replays. Ed Smith waving out the window. Of course, Jared Kihas, the one who does more than just park our truck beautifully each week. He also is the one who puts this all together and has really been the guy who is.
But they always ask, who's this Jared? I think that's Jared in that Player of the Week guy in the uniform there. That looks like Jared to me. That's in that uniform. That's Jared, guy.
Poke his head out of there. Jared had to put out a fire in the truck a couple of weeks ago. And I mean, not like
literally?
Personnel issue. I mean, like, a fire. So
every now and then I'll see Jared at the gym, and he looks at me like, "Dude, you go to the gym?"
It's not the first one who's had.
Yeah, no kidding. Everybody's surprised.
2nd and 7. Norton gets a block out to the right side and then dops his head and moves to the 30 as there was really nothing there, and he bowls ahead to pick up a few.
You can see how the Admirals are a very effective team with the lead, the way they play football. It's just tough to come back, huddling up and not getting the big play like that they've gotten early in this game offensively. They're a great team with a lead. It's just a little tougher for them to get their way back against especially a talented team like T.R. Miller.
Yeah, they need to be in the spread now. You would almost think they're trying to salt the clock away.
Exactly. They're playing like a team and you can see that that's the kind of team they have. They can do that. Let's see if they don't try to get something downfield here.
Yeah, they're going to have to now. You were saying it earlier, but I'm in agreement with you now. We are below half the quarter gone, and they got to get a couple of scores to win the game.
Connor Sermon with the first down there on 3rd down.
And I tell you what, those kids are having fun.
They split Seth Shirley out to the slot to the far side, and pressure coming, and Norton fires, and he's able to get it complete to the 18-yard line. The tight end, Tucker Miltier.
Sophomore, right?
Yep.
Amazing. And, when you make a catch like that, like I say, when someone drops a ball, look at their feet. Oftentimes, their feet are tangled, and that just plays a role in it. Here's a young guy. He's almost on his knees at the point he makes the catch. No support from the feet. And he's able to make a great diving catch.
That is all hands. Bring it to the body quickly. Ensure no fumble.
Pickup of 9. Norton looks. Pressure coming. Norton scrambles Johnson after him. Trying to get the first down. Took a lick and then spins forward. And he stays in bounds. But see where they mark him. He's going to be just short of the first down.
No matter what, that was a great job out of the quarterback.
I agree. We see a lot of guys that are great competitors out on this field tonight, Dick.
And, he was putting himself in duress where he had to because the rush kind of pushed him over there.
Yeah, and he was trying to get to that first down marker here. He could have run out of bounds to stop the clock, but it was more important to try to get the first down. And a great play, and now they'll push ahead, and they will get the first down with 2:48. So now if you're Bayside, you think you can get a score here regardless whether you got to get 2 scores, whether it's field goal or a touchdown. You prefer 2 touchdowns, but you have to score here, and you're going to have to try the onside kick if you get some points here.
And Norton's play, back to that play, it was a tough play, but his tenacity cost him maybe 25 or 30 seconds
as
far as real time on the clock.
Wise, the receiver, up to the top, matched up against Jolly, who's got the 2 interception. Now Norton wants to roll out this side. More pressure coming, and Campbell grabs him and drops him back at the 25-yard line.
I tell you what, Campbell has played a well of a game. He's got my early vote for being one of the MVPs. He's made an impact offensively and definitely defensively, like we knew that there was going to be players doing.
And Norton just tried to get away, and big loss all the way back to the 25-yard line with 2 minutes to go.
Boy, a game like this, these two-way players, when you're starting to think who's the player of the game or the candidates,
yeah.
When you're making plays like that on both sides of the field.
They drop 7 back in coverage. He waits and comes across the middle, and Wise has got it, and Wise gets a block, and Wise makes a move, and Wise is in for the touchdown.
Nice play by him. All effort, all him.
Second touchdown of the night for Wise. And we've got an injured. Maybe Jolly. That was all Wise.
I got to give it up to Norton, though, because that's not his first read either, and he's under duress again, but he's able to have enough of a pocket, find a guy that's just coming across late in the play.
Nice little block by 6 there to give him some help. So I didn't see that.
What a play.
Yeah, and he dove from looked like the 8. And he's not a tall guy.
No, really great play by Wise.
Of course, starts as a cornerback as well, had the big touchdown reception. Just 5'8", about 160 pounds. All right, so now 28-23, so you think Bayside would go for 2 here to try to get it within a field goal.
Good sportsmanship there by T.R. Miller while the injured's down, and also shown by Bayside taking a knee. Prayerfully, he's okay.
Well, they've given us a show, these two 3A powers.
Mm-hmm.
Making a case for getting Jim back out here, huh?
Whatever.
Jim likes his proximity to that bay now. They've got that going for him. He can pull that yacht right out there to that pier he's been talking about earlier.
Boat himself home.
There's Jolly.
Oh, he's banged up pretty good now.
Yeah. He's that
a long way across that field.
No, let's hope it's just cramps there. I like to see them where they don't go off on their own power.
It's
some prayers up for him.
Warm night for
October.
Mid-October, yeah.
So we'll take a moment to get Joshua Jolly, who's also in contention for Player of the Week, 2 interceptions here tonight. Yeah, so as we said, you go for 2 here because being down by 5 or 4 makes no difference. So try to get it to 3 and give yourself a chance with a field goal.
Mm-hmm.
You can get it back.
And that offense is very methodical during that drive. Just kind of like, we're just going to do what we do.
Which was shocking to me.
Yeah,
but you see why they do what they do, huh?
It's what they do. And then finally, you knew they had to take a shot to the end zone, or at least through the air, and try to find something loose.
Quick.
And he was able to do that, but it was really on the quickness of Wise after the catch.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Being elusive enough. And then
big effort by that.
Big effort
man
to get in the end zone, yeah.
McGill rolling on 35-7. They lead Baker. Played here. All right, so the Admirals will go for 2. Reed Norton looking to the right side, floats it all alone, and it's over the head of Wise, and he couldn't pull it down. He had him, and the throw was high.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough catch, but catchable. It did go through his hands, but they still in the football game. Got an opportunity here with 1:41 left on the clock.
Bayside will need a touchdown if they can get a stop here. A little bit wide too, but
Wise put a move. He made a move to get that wide open. I can tell you that. Do you think defender was playing the slant?
Like in second grade when they were playing tag? I bet he didn't lose very often. Huh?
There are people who were in second grade with him are still waiting to tag him.
11 plays, 63 yards, 4:39.
Yeah, that's the key there.
Yeah,
that 4:39 being taken off the clock there. They needed that a lot earlier.
Thomasville does beat UMS. That's now a 3-way tie up top that region there. And Cameron Williams with his 3rd touchdown pass of the night for the Viger Wolves. Their try for 2 fails. Viger leads St. Paul's with 4:31 left, 35-28.
Man, that says a lot about the Jackson defense because Viger had a lot of trouble moving the ball. And you look at what Jackson's been able to do offensively against Davidson.
Number 5 and 7-8.
We didn't see any of that offense a week ago.
Well, that's what I was trying to tell you. Those were some pretty good defense out of those teams. But I just saw the potential with both offenses having players, you know, the Holly kid and then the other kid for Viger, who's varsity utility man.
The score was 7-7 at the end of the regulation. We did notice the defense was pretty good. We did notice that.
You know, it's just, but, you know, I'm saying the potential of the offense.
Onside kick. And T.R. Miller takes a timeout just kind of to see the alignment. Is got 2 kickers on the field. You've got Mac Douglas, and you also have Sermon, who can kick it. Lasby not happy about something with the officials there.
Well, he can take his argument all the way back to when he thought he had a first down. And he didn't have a first down, and it kind of...
He's got that in the file as well.
Yeah. In the file of I'm very mad about something.
You know, it's not only the great visual that we see here. Tara Dempsey on the sideline. She holds that microphone. That's a big parabolic microphone.
Oh, yeah.
Parabolic microphone. Holds it on that. You know, give us a wave, Tara. There you go. And so when you hear the coaches yelling, get upfield, and you hear the big contact, it's all coming from that young lady right there holding that microphone all throughout the game.
She does a great job.
Make sure the
gets the breaks.
Yeah, gets the breaks so we can make sure that...
Because Jim gets tired.
Well, we got to get through those commercials. And then we need for the game to resume. She takes care of all of that.
And, yeah, we got to get into folks that help make this program possible. Good community partners.
So the onside kick coming here. You see you've got Winton to the bottom of your screen for T.R. Miller. You've got Booker there as well. All the hands. You've got Campbell out there. You've got the tight end Nicholson on the far side. So we'll see who's going to kick it here for Bayside. Douglas looking for the good bounce, and Winton able to recover it for T.R. Miller.
Execution by T.R. Miller there.
Didn't get that high hop that you hoped for.
They didn't get the bounce.
They didn't get the high hop or the skip or anything like that. And you know, they had a lot of athletes, a lot of receivers and people with the good hands. Obviously, is what you want to do is put them up on the line there. And that's what T.R. Miller did, as you would expect. As a wide receiver that was able to save that one.
2 timeouts left here for Bayside. They'll use them quickly. We were talking about McGill rolling up tonight 42-7. Bubba Thompson, you see, won a national honor by USA Today this week. He's still completing 77% of his passes coming into week 9.
Yeah, amazing.
First-year player.
The pitch, Campbell on the right side, and Campbell, great open field tackle. And then a flag comes late as well.
And he's probably still going to get the block in the back.
That was Tucker Miltier, who comes over from playing tight end to make the stop there.
Sophomore making a play like that. Huh?
He defeated the block in the back and made the play.
Yeah, this is these teams, these individuals know how to play football. And
I
they're coached
expected
very
it.
well.
I really
Block in
expected
the back. On the offense. It's a 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So first down.
You know, they're playing for the good of their team and each other and the game. They love the game. You know, it may be 2 or 3 guys out here that are playing that will play beyond this point, if that many. So, you know, they're having fun the way we like to cover it and like to see it done.
Yeah.
I do want to say hello to David and Aveen Cahaley. They're here watching the game tonight. I know they're going to watch it on DVR. They recorded it as well. Their son Killian playing tonight for the Admirals.
Yeah, I saw him at halftime again. I told him we gave him a shout out to him holding that field goal. So extra point, I think.
Listen, over there is Caleb Winton. Get some last-second instructions.
Matt's a good guy. Big Tide fan.
A lot of Khalifis and Cahaleys over here. We got a lot of them over here on this side of the bay.
Well, they say Auburn's the loveliest village on the plains. You know, a setting like tonight, Daphne's like the loveliest village, period. It's just a beautiful setting.
They're trying to devise their strategy here to see if they can steal this game back. Bayside.
Like a little
T.R. Miller crowd enjoying it.
Like Wrigleyville here on the Bay, right? Dan
yeah. You've got folks across the street that actually
sitting on the porch watching the game.
They can if they want. And there's one up the second floor veranda over here.
A little escargot and enjoying the game.
Why not?
44.
Complaining about the calls?
So 2nd and 9 if they mark the penalty off in the spot and up near midfield. Bayside trying to rip that ball away, and Bayside going to take their time out at midfield, bring up 3rd down with 1:17 left, and the clock is stopped.
Boy, you just put a chill down the spine of T.R. Miller fans watching this game in Bruton, because there you go. There's the sweet spot right there.
Got them all. You got them on the east side of the north side of the stadium here. You got them on the east side as well.
Can you imagine what you just said? It's like, how could T.R. Miller possibly lose this game? Well, that's one way.
A ball getting ripped out.
Ball getting ripped out, and then there you go.
There's another porch.
Yeah, it's just really an incredible setting here.
It's and if you don't know it's here, you're not going to drive by this stadium because it's not on one of the main drags here. And
no, it's off of Main Street. It's off 98, and then it's off of Main Street, which is closer to the bay.
And it's Old County Road right in front of us.
Yeah, and so
you know, I've been here triple the time Jim's been here, living in this city or this South Alabama, and Jim had to give me directions to get here.
Yeah.
It's such a scenic route. That seems the prettiest way to get here, too.
But it is a beautiful place. Really, really, really nice folks. And T.R. Miller came down here and said, we're going to play some football.
And they have 3rd and 5 for the Tigers. They can salt it away with a 1st down. They give it to the fullback, Hall, and he's going to be stopped.
Tried to trick the defense. They've been running that pitch like Lawrence Tate and the Georgia Bulldogs, but this time they try to hand it to the fullback to make sure that backside backer is checking him.
All right.
And he was up for the task.
4th down. And they'll wind the clock here. Bayside out of timeouts. And now if you're T.R. Miller, they have not punted the ball much on 4th down here tonight.
Well, they haven't punted the ball much at all.
And they're going to line up and say maybe they just let the clock totally run down and they have not started the 25. Now they just start the 25-second clock. Wow.
And then they stopped the play clock.
And they're trying to get,
stop the game clock for whatever reason.
Yeah, they had a clock issue here for sure because they had the ball set and the clock was running, but the 25-second clock was
not running.
Yeah,
but the game clock started running, and then it stopped again.
I think we saw this last week at the Viger game.
I don't know where you go with this.
Yeah,
you know.
And I didn't ask Ron Coleman what the deal was. We both were late to church.
Miss Millie, do not Miss Millie upset on that one, big lucky.
Oh, well, we sneaked past her.
Yeah, so she knew what the play clock situation was. She's learned high school football.
Yes, she's learned from the best.
I don't know how you redo what's been done.
Well, didn't you tell me, Dan, you would try?
Yes,
I would try not to take the blame.
So 55, they put it back to 55, and now they reset the game clock as well, and they say wind them both.
Okay.
And so we're at 55.
All right.
But
so they can take it down to 25 seconds and call a timeout, their last one, or just take the penalty.
So they're line it up to go for it. Did they do a quick kick? Maybe is there a quick kick, but they're not out of the shotgun?
No.
We got nobody back deep here on 4th and 4. They try a hard count.
Bluffing them?
I don't think Bayside's going to jump offside. And now the play clock's at 0. So nothing harm there if you're.
I think that readjustment or that.
They took their time.
Yeah, and then they were able to get maybe 11 more seconds for Bayside in the very end.
Nope, they did not take the timeout. They just let the clock expire, and now they'll bring the punt team on. And they got Reed Norton back to return a punt.
You know, we saw Coach Lazenby at UMS Wright, and they blocked a lot of punts in their day over there. Just a thought.
Well, they've been close here tonight a couple of times.
They blocked one last week. John Douglas, number 11, blocked one last week, and they've got 10 on the line of scrimmage here right now. Atkinson from the 31 to punt. Good snap pressure coming from Wise, and Atkinson gets it off. Not a great kick, but it does take a T.R. Miller roll, and now down around the 31-yard line with 18 seconds left. And now she needs something special because you don't really have a big arm quarterback to just sling it way down the field.
Yeah, Coach Thomas, he's been in this spot before, I bet, a few times, and that was nice sequence of management of the clock there, I think, by him.
Yep.
18 seconds left, no timeouts. So do a couple quick outs, and you're at the far hash, so you'd think they would go up to the short side of the field to try to work up the sideline there just to get a chance to maybe a hook and lateral play. Or
well, Coach Thomas now took a timeout, wanted to see what kind of formation they came out in, and now he can set his defense up to defend it.
Yeah, initially I was a little surprised that the safeties were kind of at
up too close,
regular depth, that you would see in the middle of the game. Let's see if they adjust that a little bit and put those guys beyond midfield and just keep everything in front of them.
So you can't go over the middle of the field without a first down, and then you really, if it takes 2 seconds to clock the ball, we saw earlier, you just don't have that that luxury.
They don't have the luxury of time. That's what they don't have. So they're going to have to make something big. Safeties drop back a little bit further now, including
Big Booker back there.
Yeah, JoJo's back around the 46, 47. And they're backpedaling.
Reed Norton has all kinds of time and now fires middle of the field, and Wise makes the catch. He slides down, and that'll stop the clock with a first down at 10 seconds.
After all of that, they still was close to having too many men on the field defensively.
They are going to clock it here. As Brian Billick likes to call it, they're going to dirt it. And he takes the 2 seconds off.
Again, they had too many personnel on the field. T.R. Miller. I'm just not understanding. And they're not, and I don't know why the ref didn't see it. Man coming off late and didn't get off before the whistle was blown to clock it.
Right, got it.
You know what I'm saying?
I did not notice until you said it.
Play clock already at 15 here. Game clock at 7. Bayside's going to have to hurry.
Yeah, this could be the last play, period.
I mean, they're going to have to hurry to make sure they get it off. Down at 2 and at 1. And they don't get it off to lay a game.
I thought they did. But that was a lot of motion.
And so
put the second back on the clock, on the play clock?
They took 1 second off the game clock. But the play never started.
Prior to the snap. Illegal procedure.
Yeah,
on the offense.
Yeah, I thought
5-yard penalty.
Thought they had the clock,
second down.
The snap off okay.
That was the letter of the law right there.
Yeah, splitting hairs, but yeah, I thought they got the play off. But,
should be,
something else going on with the formation and jumping offside.
The play was late coming in, but there still should be 7 seconds on the clock.
Now T.R. Miller with 4 safeties.
There you go.
And a prevent defense all the way back at the 30-yard line.
Now they put it back to 7 seconds. On the rollout, Reed Norton, who has pressure right away from Campbell, fires off in the middle of the field, trying to get out of bounds is Seth Shirley, and he's slung out, and that'll do it. So T.R. Miller comes down and gets the road victory, and in all likelihood will secure the number 2 spot in the region as they improve to 6-2 and 5-1 in the region, and Bayside falls to 5-3 and 4-2 in the region. We were treated to a nice football game here tonight on the shores of Mobile Bay.
Yeah, well-coached teams, very competitive individuals on that field. Players playing for their brother next to them, not trying to do too much, just doing their job on both teams.
Yeah, and that's that great sportsmanship and, just showing, hey, we're worthy of the University of Alabama UTV 44 game of the week. So they definitely are worthy of it.
T.R. Miller with the victory here tonight. Tara will go down there. She's going to catch up with Victoria's coach Andrew Thomas. That's a big win for his team coming on the road here tonight and getting the victory and make for a happy ride back to Bruton. Let's go down to Tara. She's on the field. Tara.
Coach, you've said that your team has played crisper on the road all season. Assess their performance in tonight's game.
I thought we played real well. I thought defense played great tonight. One of the better games we played. We're growing up on that side. We kind of give them things, and that was kind of an emphasis for us going in is we couldn't afford to give things away, and we kind of kept them in the game there. I mean, we had several opportunities to kind of put them away, but credit to them to just, how well coached they are and how disciplined those kids are, and they play tough. But just proud of our kids the way they fought and kind of answered every time they made something. We kind of answered back, and that's kind of showing our leadership's kind of, we're growing there on that end and our toughness for our kids. So I'm proud. I mean, it's great to come on the road and get a win like this.
And then this is a huge region win, and with the playoffs just weeks away, what does this win mean for your team?
I mean, it puts us in a position where, we, depending on, other games in our region where we, obviously could be in a higher seed to have a first round home game. So, it sets that up, and you never know how regions match. Sometimes you might be better to be a 3 seed, but I mean, any time you play in region, regardless of what the ending result's going to be with playoffs, I mean, it's good to get a win, and this is 4 in a row for us. Our kids are growing up, so I'm just proud of them.
Thank you, Coach. Congratulations.
Well, the win here tonight for T.R. Miller over Bayside 28-23, and there's just been great high school football games all over tonight. We've been updating some other scores. How about Davidson scores? And then they get the onside kick left, and they have the ball, and Davidson is down 49-44 to Jackson with 46 seconds left over at Ladd Stadium. And you also have scored Daphne still leading Blunt 28-18 up at Jubilee Stadium. So we could have some shakeups all over here tonight. We had a great game here at our first trip to Bayside 3A football. We loved it here tonight, and you could just see 2 evenly matched teams throughout the night, and really just the both sides of the ball. When you had kids playing both ways, those kids really were the ones making plays on both sides of the ball.
Yeah, they were, and that's about what you would expect. And I think that coming into this game, I was having a conversation with a fan before the game, and it just appeared to us that maybe more playmakers on the T.R. Miller side. This Bayside team is scrappy, and they play through the whistle. But as far as having guys that can bust a game open a little bit, T.R. Miller touchdowns for them, and it was just really good football all around.
Yeah, no doubt about it. And you knew, like we said, that there was going to be talent, and they're not as high as we normally see, but they played scrappy to the end. And then the thing I was looking for, the two-way players, I didn't see a drop-off toward the end of the fourth quarter. So I think, that doesn't hurt them when they're playing each other, as the coach told me. One thing I've never heard a coach say is that maybe the 3rd seed is a little bit better. Maybe you can enlighten me on that.
Just depending on what region you match up with, how that other region is.
Yeah,
If
you have a packed region, maybe, with really great teams, you could end up, just getting a bad matchup.
The path of least resistance in some
just
form or fashion.
Yeah, how it shakes out. All right,
get down to the bus and ask him. I don't have the answer.
our Premier Motorsports Friday Night Rivals Player of the Game nomination, JoJo Booker from T.R. Miller, had a big game here tonight. Michael Campbell, 3 touchdowns on the offensive side, and then also played great defensively.
Yes.
I mean, I think you could have put Noah Waters up there defensively for the team from Bayside as well. We go with Henry Wise, who played cornerback, had that great pass breakup down deep in there, and also had 2 touchdowns on offense. And you can go to local15tv.com and click on High School Football Game of the Week and vote for the Game of the Week. So wonderful night here of high school football here on UTV 44. Week 9 in the books. We're back at it next Friday night. Final score here from Bayside, 28-23. T.R. Miller gets the victory. For Tara Reeves on the sideline, Jared Kehos in the truck, and our entire crew down on the field. Brian Anderson, our statistician, Dan Brennan, and Vic Lockett saying good night from Bayside, where T.R. Miller comes down on the road and gets the victory over the Admirals, 28-23.